All right. And the Omega level shilling starts now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that there's like an entire D&D playlist on YouTube somewhere that's like royalty free.
Yeah, I know one of my friends has one that he likes to use.
I will
Oh, did I
start
swap?
recording now.
That's likely a good idea.
Sure.
Button.
Button.
Also, I just realized, is it me or can I not hear music through stream? Or is it just through our end?
Is it being dumb?
I can hear it.
On stream?
Yeah, check your or I can hear it on Jake's Jake on his shared screen.
Shared screen, yeah, but not through the stream if you want to come through the stream. Like on Twitch. Because I think it's just picking up on Discord. Unless I'm just being a butt.
I mean, it's playing through his desktop, so if he's picking up his desktop audio for Discord.
I am, but what the heck is going on here? Drop frames, and we're... I might not be able to do that.
Ah, beans.
I mean, if you're streaming through two sources, yeah, it's probably going to drop a bit.
Yeah, no. We're going to do that and see if we have any issues. Oh, also, let's have a look. See. Bitrate's looking okay. Stream is experiencing issues. Wow, what even? Okay.
Forgive that we sort this out.
Oh god, did that show up? Hold on.
Okay, so we are significantly decreasing, I think. Let's have a look, see at the things. Pets of Time indeed.
Oh no!
Oh no, what?
Check.
Hello? Yay?
Hello.
Huh.
Oh god, I should probably not do that.
Oh, yeah. Whoops. It's alright.
No, I mean, like, the soundboard actually shows up on Audacity. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, probably wouldn't hurt to not do that.
Let's actually have... Yeah, let's add it here.
Well, I mean, like we haven't synced yet, so you're still free to do shenanigans.
Sure, yeah.
Cool. All right, let's see. Why are you being a butt? Stream experiencing minor issues. Let's add that to the footer and just keeping all that information. My metrics. Alrighty. Testing. Just making sure that the stream is coming in a-okay because reasons.
Also, I'm just gonna bump up my audio just a touch because I sound a little quiet on stream.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and do that. How are we sounding in comparison to the rest of the group?
Sounded good.
Hello, this is Gaia Green.
Also turning off fan because
Hello.
Yeah, if
There
your
we
gain's up, then you've got more of a chance of the fan picking up.
Yeah.
As well as chair. But there we go.
Cool. All right. Let us.
Let us boot.
Yes.
I have my notebook. I've got notes. Episode 19.
Yep.
No, 19.
19!
I remember what 18 felt like yesterday.
That was almost. That was a while ago.
Yeah, I know. But we're
Some-
back, baby.
Dude,
Some
you're-
month ago.
Yeah.
Milla, you're like clipping hard.
Yeah, you're
from
you're
what I can
peaking.
tell.
You're peaking real hard, bud.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me try turning it down some more. Maybe I turned gain up too much.
Yeah,
Probably a touch too high.
that's one of those either turn your knob down or put a little more distance between you and the mic.
Yeah.
Just
Bitches.
turn your knob down, and Jake, like, how high do you have him set? Can you bump
I
him up?
have him. I think I have him at maximum. Yeah, I do.
Mic check. 1 2 1 2.
I mean, you sound fine for us.
Yeah. Like
I
you
might-
sound
I might
fine,
have
but
to-
it's,
I might have to boost desktop audio here. Let's hear again.
There we go. Yeah, that sounds a lot better on stream, and if it sounds good on your end, then yeah.
All right.
Sorry about
All right, guys. I think we are pretty close to being ready. Let me make sure that let me make sure my stuff isn't. Yep, it's showing up the right stuff. Awesome.
excellent.
Excellent.
All right. Where last we broke from the Dealbreakers, or at least we will once we sync up. I'm getting ahead of myself. Syncing time. 1, 2, 3, sync.
refrigerator,
Sink.
1, 2, 3, cabinet.
bathtub,
Cabinet.
Sink.
Cabinet.
1, 2, 3, refrigerator.
potato,
Table.
refrigerator.
and I botched that last one. God damn it!
It's good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Where last we broke from the Dealbreakers, the party had a bit of an interesting trip out to Trader's Landing from the capital, encountering blink dogs and bugbears. The party set forth to pursue the attention of House Gwenist in order to attempt to find their patriarch's support and favor in an upcoming international tribunal known as the Steel Concordat. Where we broke from them specifically, they were laying their eyes upon the city of Trader's Landing. So, the 5 of you stand right where we left you last, the middle of this group of now dead bugbears, with your cart mostly intact, untouched during the combat, and the group of you having been assailed now stand with your enemies defeated.
Did not expect to be ambushed by bugbear brigands, as it were.
Varen will go back to the cart and check the horses.
Trinket will kick one of the bodies.
It doesn't seem to have any sort of life to it.
No, that was just spite.
Okay.
And the horses weren't hit in any way? Just checking.
Your horses were not hit. It does not seem.
Okay.
I'm just trying to remember. Above game, Jake. Was there anybody that was approaching after the combat had done already, or were we still just by ourselves on the outside?
You guys were still by yourselves.
Okay.
Do we still have the Do we still have the combat map? Sorry, real quick.
I do. Yes.
Let me bring it up just so we get an idea of what it looks like.
Yeah, a refresher wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Ishmael's just gonna do a quick double take of the surroundings and make sure there's nothing else in the immediate vicinity.
Yeah, and let me adjust the view here on the wallfly.
So
the wallflower.
They're
as
gonna
I
be
say.
over here checking the horses.
All right.
Oh yeah, that's how it was.
Oh yeah, all those bodies.
That's
Well.
not got it over their heads, I'd say.
Still got a little blood on that. I'm surprised. Rearguard gets cast prestidigitation on his clothes to get the blood off of them.
I'm pretty sure it was raining, wasn't it?
Yes, there is still a light drizzle that's falling here. We'll actually go ahead and find some music or something.
Is everybody good?
Spotify isn't being nice.
I'm fine. I think we could, focus on patching up with the rest of the way there. No sense in standing out in the rain.
Was there any damage to the cart?
Varen already checked. It doesn't appear to be, and that's pretty loud, Jake.
And now?
Dial it back a little more, and then it should be good.
You can also adjust your music volume on your settings tab, Helixux.
Yeah, I know, but in terms of this, like the stream hearing it, so compared to our voices, so I want to make sure that's balanced out.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Good.
But no, the card. Varen already checked the card. It seems to be fine.
Okay.
Ishmael,
Hmm?
you don't suppose there'd be a reward for dealing with these brigands, would you?
Well, I'm not the person to ask that. We'd, be better off asking somebody in town.
Which actually reminds me, I need to grab that sheet real quick.
I need to open my inventory because I need to look for something actually.
Yeah.
Like, is there room in the carts for them, or?
Probably not all of them.
Yeah, probably not room for all of them, and we'd all have to walk.
20.
Nothing like trying to figure out bounties.
Jake.
Yeah, it's back. Oh, what the-
Apologies, I was stepping away for just a second to try to find a paper. Because I am disorganized as all hell right now.
Meh, it's alright. But, Jake, Ishmael has a question for you.
Yes.
Yeah, so I know last time you mentioned that their apparent leader had a helmet of some description. Does it have any, like, distinct markings on it?
I need you to roll an investigation check to see what you
Gladly.
find.
Let's see. Invest. 16.
Ah, yes, that's 16. As you go over the helm and look to try to find any source of strange markings, you actually do find one or two in particular that are of interest to you. One of them, the one that strikes most clearly, seems to be his name. Seems to be a series of scratch marks that read out, that likely might read out his name in Goblin, if you know that language.
I don't.
I'm just gonna motion over to Johan to help me to start clearing the bodies off the road.
Okay.
Well, I feel worried about the bounties. Looks like this guy literally has his name written in the inside of his helmet, so I feel if we present this, that'll be proof enough.
As you move away from his body, I want you to roll a perception check. Or as you start to pull the helmet from his body.
14?
You see a small scrap of paper flutter down from the inside of the helmet.
Catch it, look at it.
You see on the paper
I see what you cut out for a second.
a small eye on the paper.
An eye?
And more indecipherable text. Roll an intelligence check to see if you recognize this language.
Nat 22.
Yeah, no, natural 20. You can't understand it, but you understand markings of infernal. You've seen them once or twice before.
Oh. Okay. Ishmael looks over to Trinket and beckons her over. I think I've seen this writing before. I think you probably have a better shot at this than I do.
Ah, yes, that's infernal. My mother's tongue.
Well, what's it say?
It doesn't say anything. You have to read it.
I'm going to go ahead and add
Because I
this to
cannot.
your found documents. Both
And I'm going to
Ishmael and Trinket.
go ahead and add that to puns.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so you now have in your player found documents and items a small scrap of paper.
Right?
I am going to message the contents of the text presently.
While Trick is reading that off, Ishmael, you said you were having issues with a name, were you?
Yeah, I don't speak Goblin.
Well, neither can I, but I can at least attempt to read it. Give me a few minutes and he'll begin to ritually comprehend languages to read it.
If you're going to do that, I would recommend moving to the cart. Again, it's currently raining, and I'd rather not be caught in the mud.
Trinket, as you read that name, let's see how is this working? I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy, wisdom, my not specialty. 5.
Okay.
Oh, that 19 though on the other side.
Yeah, shame you didn't have advantage. Okay.
It reads, Isiko will know you too.
What is that a name?
Would I know this name?
Roll a knowledge religion.
Up 6.
Rugar would like to attempt as well.
Say, Rugar, have you ever heard of this name, Isiko?
Seiko. Jake, would I know?
Knowledge religion.
Ha! 17.
Okay. Seeing the eye on the scrap of paper and searching your memory, you remember that in your monastic training, you were taught about the gods of the Orthodoxy, not just the good ones, but also some of the evil gods as well. The name Isiko is often tied to knowledge, but not necessarily mundane or arcane. This is the kind of knowledge that gets used against people. Secrets that people don't exactly want to get out, per se.
Seiko. Tends to be a not as well-aligned deity that tends to deal with pursuit of secrets, as it were, and it may be pertinent to things you may not want revealed. The purport of this is shocking, to say the least. That apparently they're aligned to him.
Well, in that case, Trinket, you can keep that.
And Ishmael just kind of finger crossbows and walks away.
I will hold on to the paper.
Okay.
I would like to cast ritual. I would like to ritual cast detect magic as we're getting ready to go onto the paper, though.
Okay.
Ishmael sees her start ritual casting.
Nope, not spending another 10 minutes in the rain.
Ah, fuck it. I don't have
in the
it
cart.
prepared.
Gets in the cart.
Meanwhile, you hear Varen go to Johan. No, Johan, you get the legs, I'll get the head while they pull bodies.
Yeah, and Johan assists you. I want you to make a strength check as you drag these guys off the road. These guys are kind of hefty.
Hey, Jake, can I cast grease on the bodies and then light them on fire?
I don't know how effective that would be if, since it's kind of raining.
I mean, like, grease fires are resistant to water, I think.
Okay, so that is a natural 1, but is Johan assisting me?
I would say that Johan's assisting you.
So that's a 5. That's a natural 2. So it's not a complete failure, but we're struggling apparently.
Yeah.
It's not pretty. There's just like
There's mud. There's all sorts of slipping around. You almost lose your footing like 2 or 3 times. It doesn't take 10 minutes, but it takes a solid 5 or 6 minutes to move most of these bodies off of the roadside.
On second thought, I will not cast grease due to Google Foo.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are in an area with trees, so, just thoughts. Thoughts from the GM.
Fire makes everything worse.
Yes.
That's true.
Correct.
Best just leave him be for now. Let's keep moving.
So you guys start to head towards down the slope of the river valley towards Trader's Landing?
Yep.
Awesome.
I'm assuming we grabbed the helmet, yeah?
Yeah,
Yes.
Brukar's holding on to it while he's casting comprehend languages.
All right. As you cast comprehend languages, I actually need to grab. Where is it? I need Volos. Grabbing my Volos book.
Rugar,
Don't
read it in the card. Let's get out of this rain.
disorganized mess of a GM.
Of course, Varen. I was counting on it. You quickly casting it.
Just wait till November when Tasha's Cauldron comes out.
Hmm?
Just wait until November when Tasha's Cauldron comes out.
Oh, God, I need another... Do I need to get another book? Jesus.
You will in 2 months.
I know. Let's see. Okay.
Hey, Rugar.
Yes, Tricket?
Can I borrow some ink real quick?
For what? Pray tell.
I don't know. This eye is bothering me. I want to block it out.
I want to insight you to see if that's what you really want to do with that.
Feel free.
Alright, 13.
I'm an open book. I want to cover that eye up.
Very well. He takes a moment and hands her his ink pen to use.
I just go all I just take a little bit of the inkwell and
Before you do, though, just one moment. He'll actually take it. He'll borrow the pen and he'll actually doodle a cop. He'll doodle the eye just for in his notes. It's like, oh, that is rather fascinating.
Do you make an exact copy of the eye?
Not exactly. Actually, let's.
I want you to roll sleight of hand.
Okay.
oh no, this could work against you.
22.
Oh, no.
A natural 20 would have made an exact copy of it. Okay, noted. It's an 18. Okay. You make a pretty good degree. As you guys start to as the cart starts to rumble along, you guys, a couple bumps do knock your quill, and you do have a couple. A deep fake rather than an exact copy. Yes.
There you are. And then he'll hand her the pen proper.
Mm-hmm.
And I will proceed to just block out the eye, just completely destroy, like just coloring all over it till like it's completely blacked out.
Okay.
Well, and then once he gives her the pen, he'll. What the heck? He'll. How much longer is it gonna take before we get to town? Will they have time to ritual cast it before they get to the edge?
I'd say so. Yes. As you guys approach one of the 4 towers dotting the valley, I want you to make a. What's the word I'm looking for here? Make a perception check as you guys are passing one of the 4 great towers in the valley.
Oh boy. Soft 20.
I think Rutger will choose to fail because he's busy focusing on
Okay.
casting the comprehend languages.
12.
12. Ishmael. Let's see. Let's make a stealth check for him, shall we?
As I'm blotting out the eye, I'm saying in Inferno, Issachar won't know shit.
Has my casting been up so I can finally understand that at this
Yes. I'm actually looking up the name right now. Because what you think was his name is actually, you see the goblin word for captain.
Oh, fascinating. Huh. This isn't so much of a name as it was more of a title.
I want
Apparently it was
you to make an additional intelligence check for it.
Okay. I do. Intelligence. Yeah. 21.
This item doesn't seem like it's made for bugbears. This seems like it was made by, like, maybe a hobgoblin or some other smaller goblinoid.
Does it appear magical?
No, not from what you can discern.
Okay. I know Trinket was trying to see.
No, I didn't have it prepared, so I couldn't even ritual cast it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's intriguing. He'll begin to jot notes down in his journal. About the
Above game, real quick, guys.
Yeah.
Does one of us have like a sealed letter for, you know, a reason for business here?
I would assume that Ishmael would probably have that, right?
Yeah, I'm almost certain that I do, even if I didn't write it down.
You guys were handed a missive before your departure regarding the summons of the representative of the patriarch or leader of House Gwenist. Since you had chosen them, he had a choice of, if you'll remember, Shailenov had a selection of 4. And when you guys made mention that you were heading to Trader's Landing, he just handed off the one for House Gwenist.
Yeah.
Ishmael, you have that letter, correct?
Always.
Probably have it ready here shortly. I'm not sure what kind of... They may stop us at the gate to inquire what our business is.
Ishmael just pulls it out of his sleeve.
With the 20 perception check, I will say, Ishmael, you're actually able to see a puff of smoke that follows, like, almost like it followed an arcane explosion of some kind, but not just from the edge of the window. You saw like a puff of smoke.
Ishmael's not gonna say anything about it, but he's gonna be keeping an extra close eye out from now on.
Okay.
Say, I know that we're set on recruiting Alton, but what if I could cure Marcus?
A bit late for that, isn't it?
I mean, he's dying, not dead. He's only mostly dead.
Well, for as long as he's the patriarch and he holds the level of authority, then I suppose he would be the de facto choice to be sent for the Concordant.
I feel like that any of their healers would have attended to him if they were able to.
Agreed.
As I said, if push comes to shove and you want to try one of my patented batshit insane ideas, I could always try and read his thoughts and see if he has a choice for which of his sons should go.
Your choices haven't been run thus far, Ishmael.
That is factually untrue. I have made terrible decisions and they have just worked out swimmingly for some fucking reason.
At least in our company.
Point being is that I'm pretty sure that somebody of the Orthodoxy would have been able to at this point if that was the issue.
As you
Cool,
guys
let's
get
take a look.
a bit closer to the town, you notice that the town spills over the river, for sure. There's little bits and there's houses on this eastern and western banks both. A bit of a shanty towns popped up. There's a little bit of houses, a water mill up before the place where the various galleys, trade galleys that are parked on the southern half of the bridge. Downriver of the bridge, I mean. As you guys approach the edge of town, I do need you guys to roll another perception check.
Okay.
Boink.
That's a 9.
21.
That's
9,
a 7.
21, and 7. Ishmael is the eyes of the party, apparently.
His human eyes see better than my elven eyes. Just saying.
1 second, I need to actually roll for something here.
When I had read that paper, would I have felt anything off? Because I would like to roleplay that as Trinket being a little bit distracted from...
You from that 5 wisdom save, you think you have a pair of eyes on you. Like, or specifically one eye on you. Seems to be like that sense seems to be coming from the paper.
I would like to cast Firebolt, just hold it in my hand and burn the paper. See if that does anything.
Considering it's raining, sure. Let's do that. Let's have you.
We are covered.
$12 damage to the
Yeah,
paper.
yeah, no, the paper immolates, and that feeling of unease that's been pervading you for like the past 7.5 minutes is gone.
What was that for, Trinket?
I had a bad feeling.
I did too. I'm glad that thing's gone.
As you guys approach the town, standing on one of the porches is a couple of people. Ishmael, with that 21, the second that piece of paper is lit up, you see someone's eyes dart towards the wagon. One of the people standing on one of the porches. And anyone who rolled above a 10, which is only... Okay, wow. The rain's kind of making things harder to see. Varen, your focus is on driving the horses forward. You actually see the building that it's over. Ishmael. You see a sign that reads, East Argonaut Caravaneers. I don't have an image associated with their company just yet, but I will. I will have that eventually.
Okay.
So you guys are on the fringe of the town. Would you like to continue towards the city? The city proper?
I think that's for the best.
Yes, I believe so.
All right. As you guys cross the bridge, you see a tavern off to your guys' left. Actually, no, it'd be going in your right. You're going to be coming from this direction. And as you cross the bridge, on your right's a small tavern on the riverside. Its sign looks pretty weathered. I want you guys to. And we'll have the other ones ride. you guys see someone getting thrown out of the doors of this establishment. Oh, screw you! There's no one in town who could outdrink my dad! I don't want to hear any of this bullshit. Sir, you are clearly drunk. You need to leave. Now. No, you're all just crazy. I'm not drunk. I come from one of the heaviest drinkers in the fucking city. You can't do this to me! Sir, we have. Get out. Stupid fucking...
Isn't it like 3 p.m.?
Actually,
I think somewhere in the afternoon.
I mean, 5 o'clock was 22 hours ago.
as you guys actually say this, you guys make any attempts to conceal your discussion beyond what the tower can, beyond what the cover for the wagon can?
No, Ishmael's perfectly fine with openly shit-talking this guy.
Trinket will try to say it under her breath. That'd be a deception or... Yeah, probably deception check.
Or
Be stealth check. It'd be stealth check if you're whispering.
Stealth.
That's much better then.
Stupid owners. I do what I want until it starts to egg on the old man, and then I share it with him.
11.
So what exactly did you say again?
5 o'clock was 22 hours ago.
You're goddamn right it was. The man starts to hail your cart. Hey, I don't know, you Caravanseers or...
Well, Varen will halt the horses.
Thank you for stopping and paying me the time of day. I appreciate it. Make an insight check on him, Varen, as you stop the cart.
Oh, good. Oh, hold on. There we go.
Yeah, it was slow for me too.
19.
19. Let's see. As you...
Oh, I got a leg, apparently. Sorry about that.
19. We'll go with the original. As you get a look at this guy, he is very clearly drunk, but you're not sure how he is so, I guess, aware of himself. Just strikes you as a little odd, but he has definitely had a few.
How is he dressed, out of curiosity?
I mean, he just took a tumble in the mud, so that might not be an accurate representation of what his clothes usually look like.
Well, as the rain drizzles down and maybe washes a little off.
Okay, yeah.
Or Rugar will actually press the digitation to clean his clothes off. Give it about 6 seconds.
Okay. Well then, isn't that nice of you? As you get a better look at his clothes, it's not... You see oranges and... Like, orange is the majority color of his outfit, with the exception of his pants, which seem to be more of like a khaki color. His gambizon is orange with like blue stitching.
Okay, more direct question then. Is it more like commoner's clothes, or...
This does not look like commoner's clothing. Got something to say, You got something to say, Dragon Man? Or are we gonna...
We're looking for somebody, actually.
Isn't everybody? I'm just looking for... To be entirely frank, I'm just looking for a lady. You know any?
Varen just
Say anything about Trinket?
Varen just deadpan stares this guy.
I mean, what do you think, Trinket?
Uh,
that out.
No, I don't know any ladies.
I'm gonna have him roll an intelligence check to see if he recognizes. Wait, what? Buddy, you can't be holding out on me here. If you have somebody nice in there that I need to meet them. You see him reach back to slick back his hair.
Forgive my my outburst. I mean, they're not the certain type that are giving company. I just say that I know of a woman. Jeez.
Ah,
Rugar, you best stop talking.
Place your foot firmly within your mouth.
Rugar just kind of looks down at his foot. And I guess I have to do so.
you know, you seem to be good enough sorts, but you haven't answered my original question. You Caravaneers or what?
We're here on business. As in...
Business. Everyone's always on business. You know, I'm telling you right now, man.
Official Argonian business, to be more precise.
Oh, official business. So you're some nobles errand boys.
More like the kings.
Oh, so you're a royal errand boy. Okay. Swear the world's...
To be a local.
Not
You wouldn't happen to
particularly.
know anybody of House Gwenist, would you?
Wait. What? Say again? The name?
House Gwenist.
Oh, shit. What do you want with my dad?
God damn it! I knew it was here.
Wait. Just above game. Wait. Are you Marcus?
Marcus, do I look like I'm in my 60s? Christ.
No,
As you get a better look, you see his hair is... You see him, he definitely has a receding hairline. He's probably...
Right.
Rugar, most people don't age like you do.
Give it squints at Ruger, squints at Baron. My apologies, you must be Alton then.
My prick of an older brother? Please, I'm not such a stick in the mud. The name's Mariad.
Mariad, oh. 0 for 2, I suppose. He tries the harder to shove his foot into his mouth.
All right. Look, you want to go to the castle? If you're here on business from the king, you're probably gonna want to see. You're probably gonna want to see my stick in the mud of a brother.
Would you like to ride?
I mean, if you're offering, I was gonna walk.
Might as well. Hop in.
Ruger will step out and let him walk.
All right. I actually need to make an athletics check for him. See how he is drunk. So I'm gonna roll a disadvantage. 8 all around. You see him struggle to try to pull himself with his upper body
Varen
weight.
will just like grab him and just yoink him into the cart.
Whoa! Hey! Whoa! Thank you. I appreciate that.
Let us be off then.
All right. I guess. If you're here on official business from the king, what? Why do you need my dad or my brother or whoever the fuck's gonna be?
It'd be best not to talk out in the open.
Figures. Stupid political bullshit.
You could
Alright,
say that.
Let me rephrase that. Stupid political bullshit that I want less than no part in.
Duly
Can't say
noted.
that I blame
I mean, here's my opinion on the whole shtick. The world's bound to end at some point, and frankly, I'd like to be drunk as a skunk when it does.
Are you expecting it to happen anytime soon?
I don't know. When your dad's been on his deathbed for 6 months, takes a turn for the worse. Isn't your world about to end a little bit?
I suppose it would.
Sorry. Let's get on to the castle. You guys.
And I guess we'll get moving with the hopefully helpful directions.
No, he directs you. Look, so you head in through the gates. You're probably gonna have to check in there. I'll just vouch for all of you. My brother's not gonna be happy that I'm drunk again.
Ishmael just kind of flashes the letter with the seal, just like,
I'm pretty sure I've got it covered.
Let's see. What's some piece of Wait a second. You said you were royal business. Let me see the paper. I know I'm not officially in charge, or probably not the guy you're looking for, but I at least need to examine the seal. Make sure this shit's authentic. Been some weird fucking rumors going around lately about people trying to get into the castle.
Ishmael will let him look at the seal, but he's not gonna let his hands off of the paper.
Ah, shit. I guess that is genuine. Why the fuck's the king? Why the hell's the king calling for... Why the hell is the king sending people? Fucking dumb.
All I'll tell you for right now is that one of you needs to be fetched.
Oh, great. Are we fucking... Who fucked up this time? Why is there a fucking River's meet?
Think on a slightly larger scale, but I think you're on the right track.
Gonna see if he recognizes what you're talking about.
Ishmael, that's enough speak.
What the fuck's
Keep any convers.
What the fuck's
We'll
bigger
keep this
than...
conversation until we actually arrive.
What the fuck's a River's meet? Why the fuck is there being... He just seems to be circling back on the fact that why the hell is there going to be a River's meet? As you guys head towards the gates, a couple of guards do stop you. All right, state your business.
Varen will reach back towards Ishmael with his clawed hand and try to grab the missive.
Hands it over.
And Varen will hand it to the guard off to the side.
King's business. Understood? The seal is genuine. All right, let him in. The portcullis starts to raise. And the city of Trader's Landing, the city proper, is open to you.
He gives the guard a bit of a nod, and then he'll proceed forward.
All right.
Varen will hand the letter back to Ishmael.
As you guys head in through the gates and you see the city guardsmen, who would actually? No, I wouldn't. I don't think you would know this. I want anyone who is trained in history to make a check of that.
19.
All right,
That's
just
a big boop.
18.
19 and 18 from Rugar and Ishmael. Rugar, you've heard of a couple of decent-sized trading companies being housed at the landing. One of them in particular is actually a warehouse that is owned by the Ranger Auxilia that distributes their gear, a sort of commissary for them.
Okay.
Ishmael, you also know that since Trader's Landing is a bit of a trade hub itself, there's actually some companies that aid and abet that practice. A significant sized Cooper's company is actually housed here in the Landing. You couldn't say where exactly because you don't know the city in and out, but
Baron will kind of pipe back to Ishmael. Ishmael, you're a sailor, yes? I'm sure you're somewhat familiar with trading companies.
Met a few. Think I've heard some tales of some sort of Cooper's company. Works with the Rangers Auxilia time to time.
Oh, yes, I think I've heard of them too.
Again, never really came this far inland, so a lot of the specifics for all of the mercantile business this far in. Closer we get to the coast, the more I'm likely to know about something.
above game, I do want to discern that those are two separate entities that you guys know about.
Mm-hmm.
Rugar leans more to the arcane, and yours to more of the mundane, Ishmael.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes. The auxiliary actually has a trading post located here in Trader's Landing.
As you guys approach the market square, you guys hear something ring out across the city. Boom, 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 boom. 5 bell tolls. A pause for about 3 or 4 seconds. You see a lot of the people in the marketplace stop what they're doing and look up towards the castle. Another 5. And another 3 bell tolls after that. Some people start moving. Some of the people that were coming out of their homes immediately dart back in and come out wearing black.
Oh, no.
Those of you who have lived in major cities in the Freelands, or have any training in religion, I want you to make a check on that, right? Check knowledge religion.
Point. Natural 20 for a 25.
And was anyone else trained in religion?
I've spent time in Rhodium, Indigan the Indigan Empire, and the Collegiate Grants.
Okay. Yeah, with that natural 20, Rugar, the orthodoxy, or at least churches thereof, that have belfries, that use the town bell as a source of notification. 5 bells on its own is the call to the attention. 8 peals after means a death. Generally a death of great importance, if one of the town belfries is going to be used.
Oh, no. Too late.
Mariad sits up as the bells toll. No. was supposed to be there.
Baron, we need to get to the castle post haste.
Yes, please.
All right.
Oh. By now, would Trinket have guessed what's happened?
You can make a... I'd say make an insight check based on Mariad's reaction.
Nine.
Mariad seems very distraught over something. He keeps repeating, "Oh fuck, I should have been there, I should have been there, I should have been there."
Why? What happened? What do those bells mean?
Trinket.
No, it's fine. It's fine. She doesn't know.
Rugar will attempt to tiptoe up to Trinket and like to sleight of hand whisper in her ear.
I'd say that would be a stealth check.
Stealth check. 16.
Disadvantage because he's distracted. Okay. You're able to whisper.
Cupping his hand to his mouth and leaning into Trinket's ear. That was the death knell. Signaling his father's passing.
Shit.
Alright. As you guys... Mariad, lets you know. It's the road on the right, at the southern tip of the square. Just head straight on through. Anyone have anything black? Any sort of memento?
Ishmael nods, takes off his green coat. Actually, no, he's still in his black clothes because of the rain.
Look at you, already dressed for the occasion.
I mean, Varen's Tyrian armor is black and gold, so...
Rugar
Anybody-
just looks down. These are the only clothes he has. Just blue.
I have my silk robe with the gold embroidery.
Alright, let's go. As you guys approach the castle, Mariad stands up behind you, Varen, and signals to the guards that start to approach, but you hear them shout, "Open the gates! Open the gates to the manor! Let's move!" As you guys drive up, ride up, I should say. The horses are the ones driving the darn thing. You see a castle that looks older. It's got some... The towers from a distance were seemingly random at first, but the halls and such inside the fortifications of the keep on the southern tip of the square are... What's the word I'm looking for here? They appear to be squared off with staircases running down the side. You see guardsmen starting to file towards barracks on the very southern wall. And you see other guardsmen coming out in black, with black vestments, black tabards draped over their chainmail with the light blue accent denoting their Argonaut history and the orange sigils denoting House Gwenists. Did I actually have that up here? I don't think I did. Oh, well, anyhow, time to fix that. One second, I'm uploading this file because I had it prepared on my computer, but not in the actual thing. Okay. Come on, let's go. We'll show it. We'll show it to the people as soon as it's uploaded. All right. Come on. Let's go. All right, says upload complete. Excellent. And we're going to put all players. Choose file. We'll drop from my compendium here. Save changes.
Ah, I see.
Yes, and let me bring it up on the stream as well here. You see the noble device, a crossbow, an orange shield, golden keys. Over instead of the blue and green sinister pale, it over black, denoting colors of mourning. And this change in uniform of the castle guard. A couple of you approach as Mariad hops out of the cart. These are guests on business of on royal business. Yeah, but I think they're gonna be party to this too. You see the guardsman nod. I guess we're gonna go meet my brother. Shit. Not how I planned today to happen. As you guys are led into the winding halls, I need you guys to make let's see, would it be survival? I'd say it'd be survival to not get lost in the castle. Because we're actually going to swap over to that here real quick.
12.
14.
14?
$20.
It's not my day today. 5.
Oh.
Oh no.
Varen, you fall behind the group a little bit. As the rest of you are led on through some of the winding hallways. You guys are dodging orthodoxy clergy, like, not necessarily clerics, but just general men and women of the cloth. Varen, you get caught up a little bit, and somebody specifically bumps into you. I want you to roll a perception check as they pass by you.
5.
You catch a glint of a metal necklace that you don't recognize at first. I want you to make an intelligence check.
17.
You know, it looks strangely like. Actually, before you do that, did you look at the scrap of paper at all?
No, I thought that was only given to Trinket and
Okay. So then in that case,
Rugar.
disregard the intelligence roll. You just catch a glimpse of an unfamiliar amulet as this person passes by you.
What does it look like?
It looks like an eye.
I mean, since Varen wasn't aware of it, he'll just kind of like, move on.
All right. You do catch up with the group after a little bit, and the rest of you are brought to what you can only assume would be the Lord's bedchamber. The crowd here is significantly lesser, but as you approach, there are people of higher and higher, seemingly higher and higher standing, based on just on the clothes they wear alone. Mariad's like almost running at a point, trying to get back. Let me through! Let me through! Most of the rest of you guys are keeping up well with him.
Can you dial back the music just a hair?
Yes, I can. As you guys look into the bedchamber, there is just absolute mourning going on in the middle of the afternoon, no less. But in seriousness, you see 6 people, 7 actually, that seem to look like they're related. That look similar to Mariad. Standing at the foot of a bed, you see a very young man dressed in armor that is reminiscent of some of armor you've seen before. You see a slightly older man dressed in nobler finery with a silver circlet atop his head. He's just on his knees, head in his hands, the circlet barely visible. Across the rest of the room is an elderly noblewoman with raven hair, a pair of younger noblewomen, one of them with a man that does not seem related to the rest of this family. You see a family in mourning. The assembled House Gwenist.
Varen's gonna kind of like lean over to Ishmael and whisper to him. I don't like the timing of this.
I think it's all too convenient.
And that's all he'll say.
Above game, gears are clicking into place.
But in game, this is a very tragic event.
Yes. Yes, it is. Mariad steps forward. He's actually... Mariad, where were you? What? Where were you? I was out. I didn't expect...
He
was
was
like you.
on his...
I
He's
nudged
actually
Trinket
on his way
immediately.
It's always like you. You were always away from the business end of things. You were never here for Father when he needed you.
If I may, sir.
Who are you? Who?
1,000 pardons for the intrusion, but your brother actually brought us into the city. Again, like, serious condolences, but we were sent on behalf of Argonis on business related to your father.
Business related to my father. You see the man with the silver circlet stand up to his feet after the rage at his brother. We will deal with business that involves my father. In the hall, I will ask you to wait there with the man who claims to be my brother, but doesn't have the decency to stand by his own father as he passes.
Of course. Gentlemen, lady, as he turns back to the rest of the group.
you hear one of the ladies pipe up. Alton, that's hardly fair. I don't care if it's hardly fair. I don't. Mariette can't see past his own drinking problem for long enough to realize that his own father is passing away. It's not my fault he doesn't want to live with the consequences of his actions. You guys are escorted away by guardsmen back towards the main hall.
I turn to Trinket and apologies, but it's best not to meddle with family affairs.
Yes, thank you. He seemed certainly volatile at the moment.
Understandably so. But we have a job to do, so let us see to it. And we'll make our way with the guards.
Yeah. Mariette is following you guys a few steps behind. Anyone who wants can insight him.
Oh, of course.
Yep.
8.
16.
22.
Sick.
Varen. You remember how your liege lord, Ryota, was at the passing of his father. You were with him personally when it happened. This is very much that same emotion, that void of emotion, mixed a little bit with a bit of confusion for the spurning of his brother, from the spurning of his brother. Trinket, you see a man who has very clearly lost a treasured member of his family and a very big part of his life. The rest of you notice that he is noticeably distraught and can assume that because of the circumstances that just what's going on in his head. You can't necessarily read it across his face, but
Baron will actually kind of like slow a bit and kind of walk pace next to
Trinket will follow suit.
you know, it's
your
not-
brother is Your brother is angry, but it's not your fault.
No, he's kind of right. I have a nasty tendency of not being around when shit is real.
But you did not make him sick.
You're right there. I didn't. But I just... God, the fucking... All of us are back here for this. We knew that it wasn't going to last the year. I don't know why I kept on leaving the... Well, I know exactly why I kept on leaving the keep. I can't stand these idiots. Them and their ambitions are gonna get this whole family fucking torn apart. I swear. Anyway, we probably should get on to the hall. I need to sit for a minute. Maybe grab a drink. As you guys are led to the main hall, there are a couple of tables set up. Roll perception as you guys are seated by the guardsmen.
I would like to say, we all have our ways of coping with grief. Mine seem to be very similar to yours. For the longest time, I drowned myself in the bottle, thinking I could forget that the that the horrible things around me weren't happening. And later, it worsened, and my perception of reality itself st- ha- has deteriorated as well.
Mm.
You you really don't want to follow suit like I have.
It's. I'm just. If you don't mind, I'm just gonna sit down over here. And he goes up and sits at one of the higher chairs on the dais. As you guys are seated down on one of the lower tables,
Baron's
you
just
guys,
gonna stand. Actually, he's not gonna sit.
okay. As you guys are arrayed collectively, seated or standing, at one of the lower tables in this meeting hall, you guys hear anyone who rolled above a 10, so be Varen, Rugar, everybody. You guys all hear a crashing noise as a small child bumps into a suit of armor that was standing in the hall.
Trinket would like to would like to head over there.
Before you can head too far over, there's a couple guards that step in. Theo, you need to go back to. You need to be with your family. I don't want to be. Don't really want to be. That Dad was angry. They're saying that. Go, Theo. A gruffer-looking guardsman squats down in front of him. This boy looks like he's roughly 10 years old. And I actually needed to put that Barovian castle on loop.
So the suit of armor is knocked over?
Yeah, the suit of armor is in pieces now.
I would like to just start assembling and casting mending, just a quick repair it.
Okay, you can do so.
I do so.
As the pieces come back together, you have to cast it 2 or 3 or 4 times to put it entirely back together. And as you're wrapping that up, you guys are joined in the hall by two other members of who you can only assume to be the Gwenist family. You see the same man with a silver circlet. His raven hair gathered a bit by it, tied back. He wears a purple doublet now that he did not before. The orange and black sash now crosses in front of the doublet with the sigil of House Gwenist at the top. Mariad, Who are these people? I think it's best if you tell them that they tell you themselves. I don't think you want to talk to me. In fact, actually, no. I know you don't want to talk to me. You made that clear enough. In front of Mom, in front of both of the girls. The second member of the family, the younger lady, speaks up. Do you really think Mom wants to hear you two fighting? At all? Think about it, both of you. Now's not the time to be arguing about who was here, who wasn't. Dad's dead. We need to be getting ready for the funeral rites. It still doesn't answer the question. Who are these guests?
Baron will glance over to Ishmael.
Ishmael nods. First and foremost, as guests in your house, I would like to offer my most sincere condolences for your loss. And I understand that said loss makes this a much more difficult task, but Argonis, along with the other nations on this half of the continent, are soon to be called for a steel concordant.
Alton's going to roll intelligence. Wait, a steel concordant? There hasn't been one of those in 10 years. Why?
Because, as news may have reached, there was recently an attempted attack at the Orthodox cathedral within the capital itself. And the culprit was none other than a former elite member of the Indigan Sapphire Wardens and their company who had gone rogue. And as such, as a matter of international affair, the judge and jury shall also be on an international scale. And seeing as the king requires a representative for this concordat, he set it upon us as the ones who were responsible for putting a stop to the attack and who are privy to most of the more private details of the case, to set about finding said representative. And our first choice was to investigate and choose somebody from your own house.
A shame this wasn't in the works 2 or 3 years ago. Father would have actually been able to help mediate it.
Before we go any further, Ishmael, would you mind handing him the missive?
Indeed.
Ishmael, which the missive's just been kind of like in his hands this whole time. Just slides it on down the table for the family to read.
There's no... Mariad comes off of the dais and joins you. I suppose that introductions are in order then. You've already met my brother, Mariad. I myself am the, at least, heir apparent, unless there is something that changes in the coming weeks. My name is Alton, son of Marcus Gwenist. I would also like to introduce my sister, Lorena. She is the... I believe that I speak for the entire family when I say that this was a most unfortunate coincidence, your arrival and my father's passing. Until the matter of my father's succession is settled, House Gwenist may not be able to offer an official representative, at least not one that fulfills a role of leadership for House Gwenist.
Varen will speak up. Pardon my ignorance, Lord, but is it not the eldest son, the heir?
It would have been the case if my father hadn't have left the journal that he did. We have officially looked to paladins of Janarin to try to settle this matter, to act as educators, but my father made it clear that I was not to directly succeed him without being vetted first. Nor was any other member of the nor were any of the rest of them. My siblings, that is. It was definitely a concern as to why my father would even leave this in his journal. He would leave Trader's Landing without a lord, without a leader.
Varen will kind of peer his eyes to the rest of the group. Or cause a disruption.
I'm not sure I follow.
Never mind. Probably just assuming something.
Alton,
I apologize for.
Alton.
There have been many
Alton
disruptions as of late.
Alton writes something down in front of you. I'm going to message, and slides a small, pulls a small quill from his doublet, and writes something on what looks like a spare napkin, and hands it to you, Varen.
Okay. But apologies for the abrupt assumption. There's just been several disruptions, apparently, in the political system in Argonis. And it all seems a little too coincidental.
Regardless of any coincidences, the fact of the matter is that the Concordat is set to be held within a matter of weeks, and I'm afraid that we may not have the time to make the round trip there and back to any of the other houses in time. So, the issue of your father's succession may be of utmost importance not only to yourselves, but also to the whole of Argonad capital at large. To which end, I would request that we have stay within Trader's Landing, and be left to assist in the matters of the succession proceedings in whatever ways we may can, so as to expedite them and ensure that we have a proper representative at the Concordat.
I believe it is within my power, and within the power of the family as a whole, to grant this. You are on here on business of the king. This is official documentation. His seal, his signature. Your assistance in this will likely be very, very helpful.
Can I insight him?
Yes. Insight check. Specifically about the message you were given?
No, the way he worded that it seemed a little off to me. 8.
You don't get... The anger that was boiling in him about Marriott is slowly fading away. Like, it's... Reality is starting to set in on him. He's starting to lose track of his own thoughts. A little bit.
Very well. Where would you have us?
Personally, I don't care where, but I'm sure Marriott will show you to guest quarters. We have only a few rooms left, given the presence of nearly the entire family. But
I believe one room should suffice just for the group of us. We're used to being in each other's company.
the funeral will likely be at week's end. If you wish to attend, I'm sure you can. Just let Mariad take them. Take them to the room, Alton. You have a son to see now. Thank you, Lorena. Excuse me.
Varen will give a bow towards him.
He will return the bow with a nod. Lorena stays behind a little bit. You see her pause for a moment, fold her arms and start wrapping her fingers on her arms. Alton means well, despite his explosion at Mariad. Are you so sure about that? Don't bring this up now, please. Your squabbles were likely the thing that killed Father. More than anything else. It's a mighty high accusation coming from you. Miss, I don't wanna listen to him. Come on. I'll show you to your rooms.
Yes. Thank you, Maria. My lady, and Rugar gives a bow to her as he leaves.
Lorena waves you off.
As Ishmael's following everyone through the castle, would I be able to make a perception check to keep an eye out for things like warding runes, just any sort of arcane anything that might be going on?
Yes, make a perception check first.
19.
You notice as you are being taken through a particular hallway that there is a door that has a very small glyph right on like the doorknob itself that seems to fit the traditional description of a glyph of warding.
But it's just on that doorknob.
On the doorknob specifically, yes. You're not sure. You're not sure how powerful without an Arcana check to determine more. You're not sure how powerful this might be.
I do have Jack of all trades, so I've got a +2 in Arcana, so with your permission, I will roll it.
Alright, go ahead.
21.
There are a lot of there's a lot of lines crossed over, like seemingly folded in on themselves. Like the more you look at it, you think there might be another spell at play, making it seem smaller. These are very intricate designs that probably could only be carved by either a master rune carver or someone of equal skill. These don't seem like they should be that small.
Okay.
Also, while we're walking, I'm gonna pass off the napkin off to Ishmael.
Alright.
And here, I'll message you what it reads. There you go.
Let's see how long it takes. 17. Okay.
And this was written by Alton?
Alton, yes.
Ishmael nods. Thinking a lot.
Mariad leads you guys up a flight of stairs and up onto the second landing. Down a hall to the left, he basically shows you guys to a room that, as you guys walk above, in a similar style to the King's Hall back in Argonis, there is a second landing up higher that is still open to the meeting hall, with a couple of doors on this particular wall. We have one spare room left. It's the second door. I can't imagine that I'm going to be allowed back to my quarters tonight, though. More importantly, I don't want to be.
Are you gonna be alright?
You know, for the first time in my life, I'm not really sure.
Well,
If you need help, let us know.
I'll think about it.
before you go, would you indulge me in a quick question?
Yeah? What?
If we're going to be staying in this castle, I'd like to have an idea of what sort of security measures you have in place, specifically magical ones.
We got a resident ranger. They sweep the castle on a nightly basis, checking for any magical disturbances, so to speak. He's got two recruits that they room down with the rest of the soldiers down in the barracks.
It's got a name.
Oh, shit. He does, but I'm gonna be entirely frank with you. I haven't been back to the castle in probably a year, before now. so I didn't really take care to learn his name. You might have a better chance of catching him tonight if you're up late.
Duly noted. Thank you.
As for other protections, family strong room, family armory, those are locked up. I'm not gonna tell you where. It's private business.
I don't need to know where.
Good. If you did, I'd be concerned.
What of the room with the inscriptions on the doorknob?
Yeah, well, I thought you said you didn't want to talk about the strong room.
Alright, then never mind.
Yeah.
I believe we've asked enough questions. Ishmael, let's see to our room.
Ishmael nods and actually is the first to try and head into the room.
I'll have a couple of servants by to bring a couple more cots in. There's a couple single beds in the room. Well, there's 5 of you. Well, I'll have someone bring some by.
I should
Much
be able
appreciated.
to be sufficient without a cot, so I can just sleep on the floor.
Oh, alright. 4 then. 2 cots. Oh, it is not a day for math.
Just like to imagine the frickin' Johan just kind of trailing behind and smiling and waving at him.
Oh, crime. So, that's a few.
4 cots then, probably.
Oh, hi, nice to meet you.
Hi. Talk to you later.
Okay, I'll see you later, I guess.
All as we try to as we butcher his voice.
Role of Johann will be played very badly by Cryptic Cygen and
The rest of the party.
Yep.
As you guys enter your room, it's pretty sizable, actually. It looks to be about probably 60 by 30. It's not a small guest room at all. It looks like it belongs like this. I want you guys to roll or Ishmael specifically, to roll an intelligence check, given the circles you kept.
18.
18. This looks like a room that's probably reserved for royalty or royal visitors or royal business.
Varen's gonna whistle to Ishmael and he's gonna start inspecting the room.
Okay.
Ishmael nods and starts going in suit. And just sort of idly, he's gonna kind of say over his shoulder,
So, Varen, I noticed you fell behind a little bit while we were going through the halls. Was everything alright?
can
Yes,
can
go
Trinket
ahead.
listen in on this?
I mean, you're in the room, right?
I mean, you're in the room.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
not trying to hide the discussion, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's just I fell behind because, well, large building I'm not familiar with, and there was a lot of traffic, a lot of people moving around.
Anyone in particular catching your eye? Because, truth be told, I've been keeping it to myself, but I couldn't help but notice that we were being followed and watched. On the way here, it makes me concerned about what could be potentially on the inside, hence why I was asking about arcane protections.
Okay,
Be
this
concerned.
um
But Rugar will cast. He'll just flat out cast detect magic in the room.
You do notice
okay,
something.
DM, would I consider the guy I bumped into can be considered noteworthy, or just something that just was caught my curiosity but didn't really pay any mind to it and
It's
not
some-
worth mentioning?
Make an intelligence check. Now that you guys are talking about it.
Because I don't want to be meta here, so. $11.
Something seemed kind of off. The guy made a point to conceal his face. Like he didn't want to be seen or didn't want to be recognized. He was in a hurry, for sure.
There may have been one individual that was in a bit of a hurry, and also he was hiding his face. Other than that, nothing seemed unusual.
Anything of note on him?
Varen kind of just thinks to himself for a second. He did have a strange pendant, but I'm not too familiar with.
Trinket. Whenever you burned the slip of paper with the eye on it, somebody was looking directly at our wagon. I locked eyes with them for a moment.
That
And then
is concerning.
And then by the watchtower, I couldn't help but notice a puff of smoke, perhaps not unlike one that might be left after some sort of magic.
Did you say an eye of some kind?
Yes, Rugar, didn't you produce some sort of facsimile of it?
Yes, in regards to Isiko.
Can I see it?
Rugar fumbles around his notes and kind of grabs the paper and presents it to Varen and to everyone.
Alright, DM, does it look similar?
It looks pretty similar.
Yes, that was the eye that was on the amulet.
Oh no, this is foreboding.
I don't like this.
Didn't you say that this Isiko was some sort of collector of dark secrets?
Yes.
Between
Perhaps it would be wise not to mention a name like that of significance.
I agree. Rugar, you made a
And
magical sweep of
someone
the
was
room.
casting detect magic.
Yeah, he doesn't have it prepared, so he'll ritually cast detect
Okay.
magic.
Ritual casting detect magic.
Would if he had been spelling cast ritual casting at the beginning of our conversation, would it have procced by now?
I think so. As you finish the ritual, you notice something. An orb of bright blue light on one of the bookshelves in the room next to the bed.
Rugar will spend an action to make that item glow. What kind of magic does that give off?
Light blue is
Divination?
divination.
Oh, great.
Well, I didn't get a chance to say it out loud, but I was going to say that if there was any divination magic in here, that I would let you tear out my guitar strings, so
Ishmael
Rugar
pulls
will-
out his bass and just puts it on the ground.
have at it.
So, real quick, before we go any further, do you mind if we take a break? I really have to use the bathroom.
Absolutely. This is a perfect
Thank
time. This
you.
is a perfect time for a break as you guys start to get settled in.
All right.
Oh God, more intrigue. Yeah, we're getting into the thick of it.
Yes, we are.
All right, I'll be right back.
Be right back.
All right. While we are away, while the rest of the players are away, I'd like to thank Miller Ninja for his 7-month resub. I would also like to thank Sandman for the 17-month resub. What the heck? It's a little while. It's almost 2 years. All right. I have drank.
I might as well take care of some bio stuff as well while I
Yes.
get the chance.
I will keep the chat here for just a moment. I'm actually going to mute myself here in just a second and probably take care of a bio break as well. We'll fade away here to the pre-stream.
I return with beverage in hand. Hello. Subs for the sub god. How's it going, Sandman? Pizza for me. Pizza for the me. Oh yeah, it's pizza time. Oh yeah, no money. I need a good way to rip people off. Oh? I'll have the chaps do all the work. But yeah. Hail hydration. So very good. Good to see you, Sandman. Hopefully you've been well. Whoo-wee, man. I just love getting back into political intrigue. That's really one of the things I've been enjoying the most about this D&D game, because to be honest, most of the other games I've had to don't really have this much, so the fact that I get to engage with it as much as I do is a definite breath of fresh air. Same here, Sandman. I mean, just a lot of people are just, kind of feeling off this week and just trying to rally and try to get back on top. Oh, yeah. Just trying to see, is anyone here? Or am I all alone? Oh, I hear a cryptic. He's back. I hear a plate.
I return. How y'all doing, guys?
Doing all right now. Ugh.
Oh, but above game, I thought I would, when I heard the I thing, I had bad feeling as soon as I saw heard that Varen had encountered something with that eye.
Hey,
Yeah, me too.
hey! I get back just in time to catch Craig B. 1992 with the 1,000 bits. Thank you so much.
Ah,
Hope you have a
holy
good
shit.
night. Yes.
Hey, thanks, Craig. Have a good night, buddy.
Lime's
Thanks,
lime's
Craig.
comfy. All right.
But yeah, just I know I did say 82 because I'm like, oh fuck, we're being scryed on. Oh fuck, now we're being watched. Oh fuck, now we have spies in the castle. Oh fuck, now there's another scrying in here.
I'm glad I had burnt that that scrap. That's one less bug on us.
Yeah, but then we come to this resolution. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting.
All right. So, how are you guys liking the session so far?
Loving it, Jake. Like I was just telling chat, this is the one game that I have the most political intrigue in, and it's a definite fresh of air compared to a lot of the other hack and slashing dungeons I've been in and playing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
This is the shit Ishmael was literally made for.
Yes.
Political intrigue?
Dude, I have detective thoughts.
Okay, I'm back.
What do hot chicks have to do with anything, Gaia?
I don't know, but I can tell you that Trinket's not on the radar.
Oh!
Damn.
Oh wow! Not even
Shots
fire resistance
fired!
Not even fire resistance protects me from that burn.
That
Damn.
turns out your history has elemental adept. Oh.
Mind blown.
No, I mean not even fire resistance could have saved me from that burn.
Yeah,
True.
like I said, elemental adept.
True.
Do we have everybody back?
Yeah, I think I was the last one. I just had to fix my grandma's TV. She wanted the closed captions off so she could see Dancing with the Stars better.
Oh, that's a
Nice.
That's a valid thing to do.
Yeah, it's Dancing with the Stars, not Dancing with the Bars.
Exactly.
Hey.
That's good shit. Okay, that's good shit. I'll be right back. I
Yeah.
just have to close up the door, and then we will resume the lovely times.
That reminds me
Okay.
of a couple weeks ago I helped my grandmother, well, she occasionally has me over every once in a while. We have some dinner, hang out and catch up, and I had to reprogram the TV for her so that she can watch Channel 3, because apparently the TV required a reprogramming for the digital channels.
All right.
Ours
And
might need something like that too.
who? What?
Oh,
Shenanigans?
just TV stuff.
Ah.
My grandma's TV's been really grainy. I'm wondering if it might need like a recalibrating of some description.
Could.
If it's got one of those antenna turning deals, maybe? Just a reset?
No, it's a big HD flat screen, and it's got the Xfinity Comcast box and everything. I think it might just be a weird connection or something.
Yep. First rule of that, try plugging it, unplugging it, and plugging it in again.
Yep. Anywho's.
Are we ready to continue, gentlemen?
Allow me to pour some meat and I will be ready.
All right.
Alright, just like SpongeBob, I am now ready.
All right. We'll hop back to it.
Should we, re-sunk?
I did not pause my recording, so
Neither did I.
I had muted mine, but yeah.
it should be fine if it's the
Yeah,
same.
as long
It's
as it
at the
was
same
running.
timestamp. All right. So we leave off. We left off right where Rugar. You went up to a bookshelf, and in 2 or 3 different places there was like pea-sized beads of divination magic.
Now, are these actual physical objects, or are they just...
They seem to be emanating from 3 books in particular.
Rugar would like to touch the books and ritually cast Identify on them?
The books themselves are mundane. As you
Well-
try to cast Identify, you do not detect. You detect magic coming from a specific point on them.
Okay, well, my thinking was that Rugar casting Identify on the books themselves may be mundane, but Identify reveals if a spell has been cast on the book.
You detect the spell Clairvoyance.
Quick question.
Yes.
More for the group, actually. Do we have a bag of holding?
I do.
Dump them bitches in.
Above game, does Rugar know that that's a good idea?
I don't know. Roll an intelligence check.
Can I make an Arcana check with Clairvoyance?
I mean,
from the bag of holding.
It should be fine. It's like you can put magical items in there,
Just not enough. It's not a good idea to put a portable hole or another bag of holding in there.
Yeah.
here-
As long
He's
as it's
trying
not
to
another
figure out
gammy
if they
flame.
can perceive outside of the bag of holding.
It's in another dimension. I'm pretty sure that's a no.
Pocket dimensions, my guys.
Natural 20 for a 25 on the Arcana check.
Okay, so with that, you're like, wait a second. They're trying to spy on this room. And you instantly remember, hey, bag of holding's technically a pocket dimension. Those are things that
Okay.
exist.
All right. Just out of curiosity, what kind of books are these?
One of them seems to be a directory of taverns. It's a very thin book, right?
Hold on. As he's putting them into the bag of holding, I would like to use magical tinkering on one of my tent
Tent pythons. Yes.
tent pythons, and I would like let's see here. The object continuously emits your choice of an odor or nonverbal sound. Of an odor or a nonverbal sound, wind, waves, chirping, or the like. Could the nonverbal sound be snoring?
It could be, yes. But if you're going to do that, I want you to make a deception check.
All right.
Well, are you trying to make the sound so you're gonna throw it in the bag as well, or what are you trying to do?
Yes.
Well, here's the thing. Because it's across another dimension, I'm pretty sure they can't see through it.
Question, Jake.
No, but my thinking
Yes.
on this.
Oh, go ahead. I'll let you finish your train of thought, Cryptic. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
we'll finish that here in a second.
My thought on this is they'll know something's wrong if they're not picking up any sounds at all.
Question. Reading the wording on clairvoyance. With my Identify, would I know that the clairvoyances are there to see or to hear?
And again,
There are 2 of them. There's 2 of them that seem to be for hearing. One of them for seeing.
because it's in another plane of existence, I'm pretty sure the spell's not going to work.
Fair
So
point.
even if you put that sound making thing in there, they wouldn't be able to hear it anyway because it's literally in another plane.
That's fair enough, and I guess Rugar would have gotten that with a nat 20 Arcana check he made. But yeah,
That's actually a really good, just like, thought experiment question. Is the inside of a bag of holding for each individual object its own pocket, or is it one pocket which holds a bunch of objects?
I would say, given it's
one pocket to hold a bunch of objects. I would
Yeah.
believe, for...
I would. That's how I'd consider it.
But this poses another question, though. Whose sensors are these? If not the castles, then are they for you know who?
Either way, Ishmael's already put the books into the bag because he's like. "That's a
Actually,
great
real
idea."
quick, Varen will like grab his wrist on the tavern directories one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Varen will speak, if that's an active one of the city, then perhaps that note we were given. Might be it.
Well, you know how I mentioned the doorknob with a lot of intricate runes on it?
No, what I mean is that the. Actually, Varen pauses. He puts the book in and makes sure all the books are in before he continues talking.
Oh yeah,
So I'll-
books are put away. Clairvoyance is dark right now.
Okay, so he continues speaking. If that's a directory for all the taverns, perhaps what we were given on that note I handed you?
Yes, meet me in illusion.
Yes, it might be a tavern, perhaps?
That's possible. My assumption is that it's the family strong room. Remember how I mentioned the doorknob with a lot of runes on it? That particular rune looked a bit more intricate than should have been able to be performed at such a small scale. Almost as if it had an illusion woven into it to make it much smaller.
Possibly, I'm not sure.
That being said, the tavern directory would also be an excellent out if I got caught snooping around town.
Varen will pull the tavern directory book. He'll think of it to pull it out of his bag of holding.
Okay.
Question,
And
is
he'll-
this one of the listening clairvoyances, or is this the sight?
This is the site one.
Ah,
Varen's just gonna thumb through it quick to see if he can find a tavern named Illusion.
Roll an investigation check.
Let's go, Dumpstat. 9.
You find on the last page an interesting paragraph, an epilogue by the author, which is strange to see in a business listing. To those who speak of the tavern Illusion, I have tried to find within the city, searching 3 years to find the true location of this tavern. Unfortunately, I have been unsuccessful in my efforts. My searches have not borne fruit. Which leads me to believe one of two things. Either A, the more likely of the two, illusion itself is an illusion, a distraction, a lie, or that its location changes, which is absolutely ridiculous for a business model if you're trying to draw in customers.
Varen will remain silent, but hand the book over to Ishmael.
Ishmael reads through that, gives it a think. Strange.
Varen will then take the book and put it in the bag of holding. So, how do we interpret that? Now that all the books are in the bag, Varen will relay what the book said at the end.
Pattern illusion? Huh.
Oh, by the way, Varen will also show both Trinket and Rugar the napkin he was given by Alton. It was, and he would turn to Johan, but Johan is passed out in a corner right now, so asleep.
Yeah.
So,
Is Johan kicking his leg?
No, he is not.
I guess he was tired. Never mind then.
And above game, what did the napkin say?
If you wish to speak further of disruptions, I will meet you in illusion.
He was referring to the disruptions I mentioned in the political system in Argonis.
And considering we've been seeing an awful lot of iconography of some type of... I hesitate to use the word cult. Within the vicinity of Trader's Landing, and an all too sudden and not in the least bit coincidental passing of the Lordship without a successor lined up to claim his title. Can't help but wonder if it might be an outside source of interference causing the disruptions.
Also
Perhaps
makes me
naive of
wonder.
me.
It also makes me wonder if this so-called, I suppose, cult, if you put it, is tied to the Indigans.
A possibility I'm willing to investigate.
Truth be told, that's what I'm hoping for, because the honestly equally likely and slightly more depressing answer is that it was one of the man's own family.
Well, all of the family was present in that room, and if that person with the eye was walking away, that might mean that he's more an employee or a servant than a member of the family itself.
A logical conclusion.
I've not enough evidence to make any sort of conclusions, and I'll not jump to them. I'm simply weighing the options of what could be at play here, and whatever it is, I smell fish.
At any rate, when that ranger in the auxiliary makes his pass tonight, I think we should pull them aside in secret and attempt to address what we found in the room and see if that is enough.
This is in your wheelhouse, Ishmael. What do you think is more likely? Just a more separate incident that somebody just vying for power, or is it the Indigans further trying to delay the process?
Both are likely. You've been around nobles, you know how they can be sometimes. And judging by...
Unfortunately, yes.
And judging by the friction that we've just witnessed between the family, the only one that has an alibi at this moment at the time of his father's death is our dear Mariad. As far as I'm concerned, everyone else in the family could be a potential suspect. So,
We have 3 simple questions to ask. Who, where, and how? The man's health was in decline for 6 months. This much we know for certain.
Above game, how old was he? How old is Marcus?
He was. You guys don't know offhand.
Myriad said 60-something.
Yeah, in his 60s. He didn't name an exact age.
Well, it's not odd for a man of his age to fall ill and die. At the same time, the slow deterioration with no sign of getting better. One can't help but be reminded of, perhaps, a dramatic long-form poisoning, or, dare I say, perhaps a curse, but again, just simply weighing options, no matter how wild they may be. You know, the sorts of things we've gotten ourselves wrapped up in. I wouldn't put anything past this fucked up world anymore.
Agreed. A couple of
Especially-
things I had to keep out for during my tenure with my liege. Anything's possible.
But, of course, we can't make any solid conclusions without further information. And right now, I'd say the best lead we have to go on is this tavern called Illusion.
If it's even a tavern.
But,
That was just an assumption on my part.
but assuming it is, and assuming that there's enough rumor about town as to its whereabouts, I think I may have some bar hopping to do. It's been some time.
Jake, can you lower the music just a little bit more? Sorry,
Yes.
it's like it's a little overbearing.
Yeah, that's fine.
There we go. That's perfect.
I'm actually probably going to change that to that in the town to the library theme.
Mm.
I don't think I'd be able to get much out of the townsfolk today, though. The hurt of the loss is probably much too fresh in their minds. So perhaps step 1 will be waiting for our auxiliary friend to make his rounds during the night, at which point I'll simply stumble upon him while making my way for a wash chamber.
Would you like any company, Ishmael?
Too many of us and will look suspicious. Again, I can't exactly stop any of you from tagging along, but
I think it would be best if I stayed behind. Stealth is not exactly my forte.
well, he makes a sweep of the whole castle. I can probably just catch him right outside of our door.
Although you did mention, when we were entering the city, some sort of... What was it? A caravan sort of place?
Yes, there was, as we passed a... Oh, I caught the name on the sign. It
You
was
said
the,
some sort-
Eastern Argonaut Caravaneers building was specifically where I saw someone eyeing us while we were taking care of the sigil. And I'm also familiar with the business of coopers, but barrel makers are hardly of any import. Perhaps that would be one of the places I would go to inquire about the tavern.
What time is it about now?
It's wearing on in the evening. It's probably about 5 o'clock. There's likely to be summons for an evening meal, or at least there would be under normal circumstances.
Assuming they don't want to meet up for an evening meal, they'll probably have it delivered to us. We are in some guests of honor living quarters after all, so
I imagine we'll probably be treated quite well.
There's another matter that needs attention, I suppose. If we are going to be attending the funeral rites, Rurgard just kind of looks down at his robes and says, I suppose I would need to be dressed in something more appropriate for the occasion. This is the only change of clothes I have.
I mean, if you're truly remiss of buying and expanding your wardrobe, could you not just use that prestidigitation spell to change the color?
Let me double check. Clickety clack.
I believe that would fall under the minor illusion spell.
Does it?
Ish.
Just offhand.
Yeah, you might be right.
Would see invisibility see through any illusions to hide doors or any of the like?
Only if it's invisible.
Oh no!
I don't.
Hold up. Yeah. Sorry. The on the prestidigitation note, it lasts for an hour.
It lasts for an hour, but
You
it
can
does
change. You
say-
can make a color, small mark, or symbol appear on an object or surface for an hour.
Mm.
But it's based on the other text. You can create a non-magical trinket or an illusory item that fits in your hand. So it'd probably be a spot that is no bigger than the size of your palm.
Yeah, that's
On the see invisibility thing, I'm pretty sure it's just it lets you see things that are invisible. I don't think it lets you see through illusions.
Yeah, so if there was an actual invisible door, then yeah, otherwise you need full-blown true sight. Or
Yeah.
some other way to dispel the illusion.
Yeah. Otherwise, for changing colors with magic, I would imagine the closest thing I would have would be disguise self, which I don't think I even have that.
For the duration, you can see invisible. This is looking into the see invisibility. Yeah, no. As if they were visible, and you can see into the ethereal plane. Ethereal creatures and objects appear ghostly. Yeah, no. That would not render inert any illusion spells.
At which point it would be, hey, there's a doorway here. Oh, there's a door here.
I believe you can also see if you're being currently scryed on with see invisibility.
Technically, yes. I believe so.
If scrying produces an ethereal eyeball, I don't know.
It
I'd have
it does. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, let me look up
Time to
scrying
look.
now.
Time to look up. You can see in here, particular creature you choose that is on the same plane of existence. The target must make a wisdom saving throw, modified by how well you know the target and the sort of physical connection you have. If the target knows you're casting the spell, it can fail the saving throw voluntarily if it wants to be observed. On a successful save, the target isn't affected. You can't use this spell again for another 24 hours. Instead of targeting a creature, you can choose a location you have seen before as the target of the spell. Luminous orb about the size of your fist. Yeah, no. A creature that can see invisible objects.
Yep. So you would be able to see the thing that's scrying at you.
Or you'd at least be able to see the orb.
You'd be able to see that the fact that you're being watched.
Yeah, because you would see this weird ghost light.
Like orb or something, I don't know.
The ghost light. Okay.
I was making
Anyway.
I was about to make the same reference. God damn it!
But so yeah, Cryptic, if you wanted to have that on prep, it probably wouldn't be a terrible idea, since we know that there's divination bullshit going on.
Mm-hmm. That is gonna be prepared, as will enhance ability.
Either way, if we do make a way around, we're probably going to be watched no matter where we go.
Oh, most definitely.
And like I said, I think it would be better for, well, I look over to Johan, well, us bigger folk to probably stay here.
Well, I suppose that means I might come with you then, Ishmael.
It might be better if he runs solo, to be honest.
If I'm going through the palace, then I would agree, but for milling about the town looking for this tavern, having Trinket or Rugar. along to help me keep an eye out for arcane goings-on wouldn't be a bad idea either.
Mayhaps.
Well, I
So,
suppose before we... Garrett, sorry.
it's alright. So, Trinket, I will gladly take you along if I go out about the town to search for this place called Illusion. But whenever it comes to trying to carouse and make my way throughout the palace, the fewer there are in one place at one time snooping around, the less conspicuous it looks.
Well, if you're going to go look around the palace, just let me know when you do. I'll give you a bit of a pick-me-up.
Okay, noted.
Whether or not we're summoned for meals or not, or if they just decide to bring us. Shall we do any investigating tonight, or should we wait till tomorrow?
It's up to you guys.
Well,
Eh?
I'm going to be having a late night as we wait for our ranger friend to start making his rounds and come around this part of the castle. I think I'll catch up on some reading, perhaps see if I can't look into anything about the history of Trader's Landing itself.
I suppose I could see about making a trip outside the castle to get some measurements for some proper funeral attire, or at least something befitting.
Well, whatever we decide, I think eventually, well, it might be a good idea to put these books back and appear as all as normal, because if they notice if it's gone for too long, you might suspect something.
I agree, which is why I plan on putting them back as soon as we are more or less ready to wind down for the evening, or perhaps an evening meal.
And also on that note, even though we are supposedly safe within these walls, I think it's be wise to still do shifts.
Agreed.
I'll take as many shifts as necessary to try and catch this ranger.
I'll help you on that front as well, Ishmael. If I can trance through a good portion of the night and be awake when he makes his rounds.
Alright, I think we have a decent plan for now. I suppose we'll assume our roles. Let's go ahead and put these books back.
Ishmael opens up the bag of holding, pulls out the 3 books, and places them back on the shelf.
Okay. You notice that. Do we still have detect magic up? How long is the duration on that?
10 minutes.
You'll notice that as they take them out of the bag of holding, the orbs that were seemed to be attached to the books have disappeared.
Huh. Fascinating. I'm no longer detecting the... Oh.
Well, I don't know. Has it been longer than 10 minutes?
Well, is he detecting any magic off of Scrapture?
Yeah, still detecting magic off of Scrapture.
And my short sword.
Yes.
And any other magical items.
Yep.
Ah, well.
Huh.
Huh.
You guys do hear a knocking at the door.
Ishmael will go and answer it.
Pardon. Begging your pardon, sir. Sirrah. And
You
Party,
can
I
call me
guess.
Ishmael if you'd like.
Ishmael. Pleasure. I'm here to inform you that your meals shall be up here shortly. I will be bringing them to you myself, considering. My name is Gilbert.
So is this like a manservant?
Yes.
Alright.
I've been asked to see to the needs of your group on behalf of the entire Gwenist family.
Do I notice any medallions on Gilbert?
Roll a perception check.
No whammies, no whammies. Oh, soft 20.
Nope. Seems to be in. He himself is now dressed in similar black with orange and light blue detailing. The entire house seems to have donned the entire household and servants seem to have donned the garb of mourning.
Does Varen notice what Trinket's doing?
You roll a perception check, and Trinket, if you want to hide it, roll a stealth check.
Just merely out of curiosity.
I will not hide it from Varen.
Does this guy have a shirt pocket or something?
Yes, he does.
11?
If you're choosing to fail, you'll see that she seems to be eyeing over the manservant.
I'll speak to Trinket in Draconic and just merely ask, what are you looking for?
I will. I'll just scratch at my. I'll turn to him and just scratch at my eye.
Alright. Ishmael's gonna pull out a silver piece, and just slide it into the manservant's pocket.
Much obliged.
And pat him on the chest.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. It's very appreciated. I will pick up with your meals here shortly.
Thank you.
And
Did
he...
I feel anything against his chest whenever I patted him?
Nope.
Alright, as the door closes,
He's clean.
Oh, he's just not wearing anything.
Well,
Varen will turn his attention to Rugar. So, you say these books are no longer emanating that magic from before?
That's what's very concerning. Yes, I mean, I cannot tell if the magic ran out from the time that they've been in there, or if there's a possibility that perhaps whoever casted them is able to end that effect. That is
most spells can be ended at the caster's whim. Most spells.
Or maybe something happened when we placed him in the bag.
Either way,
that is true. I didn't even stop to consider that. I mean, if it leaves its plane of existence, I'm not sure if I would be able to catch it or not. I just
That
Either
said,
way.
before he starts to ramble.
either way, we can check it in the morning and see if it comes back. If somebody re-ups it.
Agreed.
There's a small part of me that wonders if it's just the Rangers doing, and it's just part of palace surveillance, which is honestly the hope. The less we dig up that turns out to be malicious, the better.
Thinking to himself, Varen will just put the bags back in the bag for a second. For the time being, let's just be under the assumption that it's still there. And act as normal. Understood?
I
Clear as crystal.
Alright, then he'll pull the bags back, or the books back out and place them back on the shelf.
Yeah, I think we already had at this point.
Yeah,
Before,
that's fine.
he had put them back in the book before he said that, and then pulled them back.
All right. A couple of minutes later, a couple of minutes pass, and Gilbert is bringing you up meals. These seem to be heartier broths, seeming to be a couple of different soups. One of them is a very dark brown and has bits and pieces of well, something you'll have to roll a nature check to decipher what it is specifically.
Who wants to handle this one?
Ishmael's a snob. He's going for it. 13.
You've had a chance. You recognize onions.
Onion. Interesting.
It's good. Oh, Ishmael's face just gets awash with like nostalgia. It's been ages since he's had anything with onions.
is it French onion soup?
More specifically in this setting, Rhodamian onion soup, but yes.
Vern's gonna go over to the corner where Johan's asleep and just kind of nudge him with his foot. And then he's gonna point over. He's gonna point over to like the tray where the food is.
Oh, yay, food. This will be good. And Johan goes and takes a choice of soup. There are three more. There are three more soups left on the platter that Gilbert.
Are they all the same, or are they like
No.
different?
No, they are not.
What's left?
Of the three soups that are left, it seems that Johan took like a hearty vegetable and beef stew. He's picking out the vegetables.
Trinket will poke him and force the veggies back into his bowl.
Johan shoos you away. So there are three more bowls left. What are you guys having?
Sure, Burgar will randomly take one.
Okay. I have to ask, left, right, or center?
I don't know. Let's try the three-finger approach. Let's determine it. The bowl on the right.
Bowl on the right. All right.
All right, indeed.
All right, indeed. Yes. As you pick up this bowl, you notice its broth isn't so much of a broth as it is almost like a bisque. It's a very very thick suspension for the meal. Do you take a bite?
Sure.
You get a couple of bites of what seems like a soft, doughy substance. It's been a while since you've had chicken and dumpling soup.
Oh, a delightful surprise.
Yeah.
Varen will grab what would have been the center one.
Okay. Yours is a little odd. Where the other ones were, where one of them was brown, a couple of them were brown, watery broths. This one has a creamier texture to it, and it has a strange color, an orangish look about it.
Varen kind of tilts his head a little bit, and then he'll grab a spoonful and try it.
The first thing you notice is, besides the heat of the soup, is notes of like a cheese of some kind that you're not exactly familiar with. And in addition, there are like little small cheese curds floating in this. You catch a couple of them at the end of a bite.
Damn it, Jake, you're making me hungry.
I can food porn with the best of them.
Eat your heart out, Monty.
One of the two GMs of this community, one of the two of the GMs of this community, or at least a few, I'm pretty sure, work in the food service business or have worked in the food service business at least once.
Yes.
I'm abusing the fact that I currently do.
Am I able to discern like any other flavors in there?
Let's see. As you go for a second bite, you actually notice red pepper, like a roasted red bell pepper. as you get another bite of the cheese, you ever had Gouda?
I don't think I've ever had Gouda cheese.
Oof. I mean, for to caution myself against sounding like a true master of puns, it's a very Gouda taste.
I
But
can handle you saying it.
Jake, you're not good at this.
uh,
I think he would disagree, but anyway.
all of these puns are starting to make me blue.
All of these puns, I have to say, you're a monster.
No, you gotta say, he's pretty sharp, Jack.
Okay. Nice.
A single tear rolls down Ishmael's cheek.
You can't explain why.
No, he can explain why.
But roasted red pepper and Gouda soup, if you've ever had that, is a very delicious thing. It's very good. I'm trying to think of what our exact recipe is.
Baron's kind of like tilted his head to side to side. He's like, I don't believe I've ever had something like this back home.
Oh, really?
It's like there's no noodles. There's just the small curds of Gouda cheese and the bits of red bell pepper.
Like, I think cheese in general is not very prominent over there.
No, not really. Or at least not amongst the Tenured proper. There's some orcs. Some of the orc tribes might have had cattle that they used for cheese.
It is delicious.
This reminds me of the onions that my mum grew in her garden.
Baron's gonna take his bowl and just go, like, lean against the wall cross-legged and just enjoy his food.
Okay, so there's one more left for Rugar, right? Or did we do Rugar? Okay, so one more bowl of soup
Trinket.
for Trinket.
I'll go ahead and have at it.
All right. As you pick up the bowl, there's this seems to be it seems that they sent 3 creamy, 2 watery kind of broths. Last one is a very pale broth. You see bits and little florets of green floating in the suspension. I should mention that there is also bread and rolls on the tray. Or, like, probably 4 or 5 rolls, one for each of you.
Not gonna lie, rolls with cheese would sound good.
Yes. Cheese bread is sinfully good. But to continue on trinkets, there are small florets amongst other bits. As you dig into the first bite, you are met now more strongly than before with both the scent and flavor of cooked broccoli.
Yum.
There's like a hint of cheese. Almost as if there was, like, maybe on top of this sprinkled some cheddar. And as you take another bite, there's hints of bacon? What heresy might this soup of it be? It's just the very faintest flavor of the cheddar and the bacon at the end of it. At the end of several bites.
I hate you for making me excited about imaginary soup.
All right. You guys finish your meals without incident. At the end of it, Johann is left with a bowl of like assorted veggies, green beans, potatoes, a couple carrots at the end of his.
Waste of whatnot, Ruger will take him and eat him.
Honestly, Johan, they go through the trouble of cooking it. The least you could do is eat it.
Johann just kind of shakes his head and just nods off a little bit.
Again, waste not whatnot. Ruger will dispose by eating the vegetables.
Notes of the beef broth, the beef flavor from the broth still like permeate the vegetables, the potatoes specifically.
Tragic shame, Johan. You can taste the meat in these vegetables.
Ishmael's just using his roll to, like, mop up what was left of his French onion that was in the bowl.
Same.
Save. Oh my god.
Varen's watching the others, what they're doing, and he's like, oh. And he'll do the same.
Oh, I thought that was mostly a southern thing.
I suppose this was a habit I picked up from my father, and I guess I never did figure out how or why he learned it. I always thought it strange.
All right.
Yeah, well, when you grow up poor, soup and bread are a common meal, and whatever to enhance the flavor and fill your stomach.
That's true. Back at the monastery, we were actually served quite a bit of soup and bread. Actually, it was kind of nice that every once in a while they would have chicken and dumpling of all things, but that was the one that they gave us for the most special of occasions. Otherwise, it was a lot simpler, typically with just beef or chicken stock with occasional noodles in it.
Growing up in my childhood, most of my village was mostly just caught game. And in the shogunate, a lot of rice and noodles.
Growing up, I always had a lot of whatever came out of my mother's garden. Onions, carrots, radishes. If it grew in the mud and tasted like a salad, then we probably had it.
I suppose a lot of seafood too, now that I think about it.
Oh, don't get me started on the herring they would bring in the mornings.
I can't say I've ever had herring before.
Were the fish up to scale?
Snaps to tricky as she makes that pun. Furs his brow a little bit.
Funny
and then
thing
turns
about
back to
herring, though,
real.
it's sweeter than you would expect for a fish. It's interesting. Kind of catches you off guard the first time.
I'm not sure how much the northern fish differ from the eastern.
I'd say it depends on what bodies of water there are, if they're fresh or salt.
Yeah, don't you folk do a lot of saltwater eel?
There's a lot of variety rather than just, fish alone. There's eel, squid, crab, crayfish, shrimp, whatever you can think of.
Well, I can't say any of the fishes from up north ever brought back any squid, the only ones they like to talk about were the ones that were the size of your ship that would threaten to drag you down into the deep.
Huh.
I heard the sailors of the east speak of a giant squid of some kind, but
Varen, I want you specifically to roll a knowledge arcana for something.
Okay. Not my best stat, but I'll give it a try.
I've got a pearl for you.
Oh!
That is a 3.
You know what? I'll say we'll levy this for advantage.
Okay.
Well-
19 then.
You're talking about sea creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Have that.
Oh yes. Most fearsome beasts I'm familiar with out east. Are you familiar with dragon turtles?
I'm sorry, what?
A dragon? Turtle, you say?
Yes.
Is it exactly what it says on the tin?
Think of a, dare I say, ship-sized turtle with basically dragon features.
That sounds...
Terrifying.
That sounds like... I'm not sure if that's even better or worse than dealing with the dragon.
I am suddenly incredibly glad that my crew never sailed into the 10-yeared waters.
What are their temperaments?
It can depend. Some are free-roaming, others are very more dragon-like. They have lairs. Some have even negotiated with sailors to have pacts. A little more notorious with the pirates, I'm afraid, though.
So these are intelligent creatures then. Well, of course,
well,
they're dragons.
Not to the scale of
dragon-esque.
not to the scale of an actual dragon, but yes, they have a modicum of intelligence.
Wait, if that's real, then were the giant squids that all the fishermen were talking about real too? I always thought they were just old tales.
I can't say I've seen one for myself, but I've heard word.
Makes me wonder if I've ever dealt with anything like that during my journeys when I was younger.
Ishmael just kind of looks up at the ceiling, just like thoughts wandering.
Just like that little crayon sketching of Ishmael at sea and then dealing with the tentacles of a kraken coming out of the water. Oh no.
I
Above
imagine,
game, I would have assumed that there'd be like folk tales of like Kraken up in the north.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's what I was referencing, but Ishmael always thought they were just that folk tales, but now he's like, oh, that's right, this world is crazy. They might be real.
Yep. All right. So you guys go on about this style of conversation into the early night, probably 7, 8, 9 o'clock comes to, and you hear another rapping on the door.
Varen will actually get up and go and answer the door this time.
All right. As you open the door, you see an interesting elderly man dressed in primarily mud. Like, imagine the color of like the brownest mud you've ever seen.
Okay.
Like, edge of the river. Like the soil is just loamy enough where it's. I'm trying to think here. More of the color of a farm field that just freshly plowed. That's the color of this man's leather armor. And you see a badge clasping a bandolier with a bow slung over his back. This badge bears a dagger whose hilt and its pommel specifically seems like it's shattering into 12 pieces.
I'm assuming this is the guy for the Ranger Auxilia.
Good evening. Good evening to you.
Good evening.
I assume that you were the ones who disrupted my watches.
Varen kind of just like sheepishly looks over to the rest of the group.
Constant vigilance.
Wait, who was that, Varen?
He'll like step to the side and kind of like have the door open.
Hello. Hello to the rest of you. Let's actually. It's probably in my codex. 1 second here. I'm sorry about the. I needed to pull that up here. Where you at? Politics, major factions.
It is all good, Jake.
My name is Morris Westford. Moritz. I am the Ranger Kestori of this castle, resident consultant of magical affairs of the Gwenist family. And I believe that you gentlemen disabled the eyes that I had in this room.
Oh,
Varen,
those are
Varen,
your...
Who slapped them? Who put them in a pocket dimension?
It was really a group decision, honestly.
Wise of you for this castle not under my surveillance.
Truth be told, I'm relieved it's your surveillance and not someone else's.
How many did you find?
3.
I bo-
Two hearing and 1 sight.
Wait, you said 3?
Aye.
I did not leave 3 in this room.
How many did you leave?
The one.
Your eyes.
Of course.
What? Where were the others?
On books on the shelf. In much
Rugar will
similar
go
fashion
and-
as you left yours.
Rugar will go up to the shelf and he'll grab the 3 books that were used as for the clairvoyance. And he'll make sure to point out that these were the ones that had the hearing, and then this was the one that had the sight.
That one was mine. Why would that? Damned Isaacan cult. Bastards.
I will look towards Varen and speak in Draconic. Should I ask about? And rubs her eye again.
I want you to roll either a stealth or deception check of your choice.
I will do a stealth since I have the better stat in it. 11.
Just fails. And what were you going to talk about?
Perhaps we should shut the door.
Varen will go over and do so.
I believe so.
When
But one moment here. I need to do something. You see him reach into a pouch that he has on his right hip. Pull this up here.
As he makes his way back over, we do apologize for being a bit cautious, but as you can see, apparently others watching.
when we had in before we had entered this village, before we had entered Trader's Landing, we had encountered a group of bugbears.
I had heard about a gang of them popping up. What did they have to do with this?
In the helmet of the leader, it held a small parchment. On it was a symbol resembling an eye. Need I say more?
The cult of Isiko has been looking. The cult of Isiko has been looking for recruits in this town for months, and I don't know why.
What if I told?
What if you told me that?
We had noticed when I had burnt said paper, and my friend had noticed puff of smoke relating to that usually occurs in reaction to failed scrying spells.
No, I actually caught that ahead of time. By the
Oh.
time you were burning it within the city gates was when I noticed that we were being watched, physically, by a man.
You said you saw smoke at some point.
Aye,
Where was it?
out by one of the watchtowers on the road leading in.
Ah,
Some
that-
ways out. I think it was the
that's-
first tower on the road. Leading out from Argonis.
That actually would be one of the outposts of the landing's watch. They're a group of mercenaries here in the town.
What's even
Could-
more concerning, Varen, you saw something else too.
Well, as we were making our way into the castle, I bumped into a hooded figure who was in a bit of a rush to leave, wearing an amulet of an eye. I didn't think much of a time, but it seemed to coincide with shortly after the Lord's passing.
There has been someone coming and going to the castle in the past months, leaving a trail of breadcrumbs for me. If this is to be believed that this is any normal group, which I doubt, any groups that I have knowledge of, it would likely be the cult of. It's likely the cult of Isiko.
I have a question for you then.
Yes.
This cult, do they seek, or whoever's perhaps working with them, do you think it's just something local here? Or do you think it's something that reaches out further because, well...
I myself
been-
am not party to the cult's direction, at least its specific direction. But Isiko is, if you have any orthodoxy background, I doubt you are, sir. I don't know how far
No.
the orthodoxy missions have got out east. But
Not very.
Isiko is viewed generally as the god of secrets. Specifically, the devil god of secrets. And he is one to twist those secrets against people who sign pacts with him and people who draw his ire. The fact that the cult so succinctly focuses on Trader's Landing is a definite concern. the auxilia does not always work in conjunction with the clergy, especially not of the clergy of Sindarin. We've generally sent more with fill along with more of the Linreos clergy and their ilk, given that we try to enforce that magic is not used unlawfully. This is a strange case that technically the clergy cannot get involved in because it infringes upon the domain of another clergy. It was a nightmare that has basically put me operating alone.
You can't reach out to other branches of the Ranger Auxilia?
I've tried to research from what I can in the city, but most instances I try to take into researching the occult are promptly shut down by higher-ups in the auxiliary power structure. They don't want people researching into cults for fear that they might join them.
Curious.
At least that was the official story. I don't know if my communiques were intercepted or worse.
Well, considering the cult revolves around a evil god of secrets, it wouldn't be a total surprise.
Yeah, this might be true, but I have to
Controlling information, it sounds pretty on point, actually.
It actually raises the question: what stories have been happening in the capitals that have not reached Trader's Landing?
Have you been filled in at all of the reason why we're here?
I have been told that there are armed guests in the royal guest quarters, and that they are not of immediate concern, given that they were literally coming into the town upon the Lord's passing.
Well, for the sweet of the matter, we are emissaries on behalf of His Majesty in order to assemble the Steel Concordant.
Coming for a
In regards to
representative.
your lordship's, seems that we have been tasked with helping with your lordship's coronation, as it were, as well as his ability to designate an appropriate representative in order to sit in on the tribunal.
Kind of for brevity's sake, can we just fill him in on the happenings of what's
For
been
sure.
going on in the capital and...
Yeah, for brevity's sake.
Olenko.
Yep. The Inhugans, the Sapphire Wardens, the Warhawks. Or do I talk about the Warhawks?
the...
That actually brings up something interesting that I heard, at least in passing,
Hmm.
there has been the outpost, the commander of the force of the auxiliary forces in this region is actually located in Asium. It's an imperial. It is an imperial city.
That's not troubling at all.
If he's the commander for these forces, and he's in an imperial city, why would he not be tasked with being in his region of command? That doesn't make any sense. Or did I, above game, did I mishear that? Is he currently in the Deacon City, or is he from in the Deacon
No,
City?
oh, I'll solve this in game. I am not from. I trained at the college itself. I myself am from Folzen, actually.
I think he was referring to the mercenary commander he was mentioning.
Oh, the mercenary commander.
Yeah.
The commander of the there is a Ranger Auxilia Corps. That is like the headquarters of the Ranger Auxilia. It is a separate, as it is a subservient but separate entity to the College of the 12. It is not headquartered at the college. That is
okay.
one of their training locations, and it is a very significant garrison. But the main force of them are in Asium and the. You can note this down: the Eretikaean hinterlands in the Empire.
Vernal kind of like turned to Ishmael. Is that on your radar at all?
The hinterlands? I never did look much into college affairs.
If you had
Sorry about this?
yes, actually. Asium is on a specific. You would at least, and Trinket, you would know about the Eritikaean Highlands as well. I do need you guys to make a couple history checks, though.
All right, add a +1 to this roll.
Yes.
17.
24.
Okay, 24. That Rugar. The Eritikaean hinterlands used to be an issue of because it was a border, because it was the border between the Empire, the Indigan Empire, and the Kingdom of Korebe. There's a lot of gray area about which nation can enforce their laws on around that region. It actually falls to like the Ranger Auxilia out there and the Sapphire Wardens both to hunt down mages and fulfill the duties of the Auxilia.
Huh.
It's the headquarters is out there as a necessity to help enforce collegiate law that supersedes any nation's law. Trinket, specifically, you would know a little more about the city of Asium. Sits along the Aridike River. And I'm actually going to send a close-up of that region to you through Discord.
What a complicated web this is.
Aren't they always?
Luckily, we usually have the wonderful. We ourselves end up using magic to ensure that our communications are succinct, but we still end up meeting in person from time to time. Yoink. And there we go. Anyway, I am not entirely sure. It's definitely concerning that the cult is starting to work. What is the word? More freely now.
Before I forget, I don't know how familiar you are with, how do I put it? Imports here in the city, but during our discussion about the plot with the Orthodoxy Church, are you familiar with or heard rumblings of a black powder substance being traded in the city?
There have been numerous shipments, caravans coming to and from. Some were tenured in origin, others from the marches, others still from Falzen, coming from the north.
Varen kind of just visually grits his teeth.
I cannot say that I inspect them there specifically, but I would imagine that the city guard is responsible for this trade. Is this material magical in any way?
No, it's not.
Then I would not. Then it would not fall under my jurisdiction.
No, this substance is entirely alchemical.
Oh, that does not bode well.
When comprised correctly, this substance can be used as an explosive.
It sounds like I should likely still be keeping an eye out for it.
Very much so. And you should be aware that, well, unless things have changed since I've been gone, it is a guarded secret of the tenured shogunate, and the fact that it's being sold and imported does not bode well for anybody.
If it is a shogunate secret, then why is it? Why is it? You're suggesting that the seller is in fact tenured, aren't you?
That seems to be.
That's not concerning at all.
But anyway, as much as I would like to investigate that avenue further, we have more pressing matters, unfortunately.
Trinket,
With the
as Varen is speaking, Trinket, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw again for me.
Oh boy, wisdom
Disadvantage.
saving throw.
With disadvantage.
10.
That fails, actually. Okay. Thank you.
Does she act weird in any way, or is she just normal?
With the 10, I'll say you kind of start to feel something off.
Yeah.
You're all right, Trinket.
don't know. Feels like someone's walking on my grave.
Oh, let me take a look at that. Regards gonna actually walk out, grab his 100 gold, his pearl, and he's going to ritually cast Identify to see if she is under the effects of any spell.
She is.
What's the matter?
What spell?
Scrying.
As Regards just holding up the pearl, just like examine it, and then the expression realizes from his face. He's immediately going to turn to our friend and say, he's going to just turn his back, walk up to him, holding his hands up to his mouth. He's gonna mouth the words, "Oh no, she's being scryed on. Can you help?"
You're going to see him nod and blink. In a second, his eyes turn from a pale, like a pale brown, to a vibrant, almost neon green, as he raises his hand, points a finger right at Trinket, and casts Dispel Magic on your whole person. And that should be the end of that. However, they do know that we are attentive.
I suppose it wouldn't be very fun if there wasn't much of a chase involved, would there?
All I know, this shit is getting real old real fast.
A true game of cat and mouse, but that begs the question: who shall be the cat and who shall be the mouse?
There is, at this moment, no way to trace. It seems that the spell was cast directly on you. How? Well, actually, I know a fair bit about scrying magic. He chuckles. I think I have some studying to do. Do you have anyone that has vendettas against you? Just out of curiosity.
Well,
No.
Are you entirely sure about that? I want you to make an intelligence check, Trinket.
All right, that is my specialty. 16.
You try to think, vendettas, who would have a vendetta against you? What have you done to people? What accidents have happened?
Well, there was Greg from high school. No, he's dead.
You think, what massive traumatic events have transpired that might have had collateral damage that you didn't think about before?
Oh, there might have been one incident. They weren't exactly happy with me after I had an accident at the college.
I'm not to pry. I will not pry. It seems that that person is like, if this person is targeting you specifically, then they have to know that you are in the city. That they have to know that you are here. or at least on the same plane. Oh, this is making my head hurt, and I need to get back to my rounds. Heavens alone know what's going on. I thank you all for your time.
There is one thing I'd like to ask before you go.
Yeah?
What do you know about the rumors around town about a place called Illusion?
Illusion? That place is a myth. Well, I think it is. There have been rumors cropping up every now and again in some of the higher end bars that I have gone through. So there is a place where the food is endless. The servants are nothing but polite. And the entrance is never the same door twice.
Huh.
Apparently it's invitation. If it is a bar, then it is likely invitation only. I've not met anyone who has been to Illusion.
Curious. I just couldn't help but notice the paragraph in the back of one of those books. Caught my attention. Thank you for your time.
Well,
Speaking of
alright.
which, actually, do you need to reapply that spell?
Yes, I will. I trust you to watch yourselves in the meantime. If you have worked with auxiliaries and clergy, I can, and you are on the mission for a king, then who am I to tell you no? I will let you have your privacy for now. So
Well,
in the morning, I will have reestablished my eyes. My eye.
for future reference, though, perhaps if you were to reapply, could you show us which item exactly so we know if there's others again, we know which one to leave alone?
You mentioned the book regarding the taverns? That
Yes.
seems as good as any to leave.
Very well.
I shall endeavor to make your stay as uneventful as possible, as well, within the castle. Beyond that, I do not know. Good evening to you all.
Good evening.
Good evening.
He shuts the door behind him. And
After
that is where we are going to end tonight's session.
Okay.
All right.
bye, future Jake.
Bye, future Jake. Ba-da-da.
Woo!
Yeah, first.
Political intrigue.
Yep. You never know where the eyes are, and you never know who they belong to. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
Oh, it's such good shit.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
19.
Episode 19. That's crazy.
Also, I didn't want to interrupt, but earlier it did come up. Apparently, it's pronounced Piton.
Petons? Yeah.
It's pronounced Piton.
Okay, Piton.
That's
That makes
fucking
sense.
Weird.
That's so weird.
I always known it as Python, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's-
according to the
Weird.
dictionary, Piton.
Weird.
So weird.
Does it have a country of origin?
If I were going to go by name, it probably... Let's see, what cultures were mountaineering? Probably...
Um,
Is there an etymology on there somewhere?
oh yeah, I do have it, but I want to hear what Jake's guess was first.
I was going to guess Latin or Latin Roman origin somewhere in there.
The earliest we have recorded of it is late 19th century French.
Really? That's
Literally, eye bolt.
It
Okay.
does seem like a French pronunciation.
Piton.
Piton.
Béton.
Piton.
Béton.
yeah.
Jake is probably just cringing at us with our pronunciations.
Oh,
Oh no no no! I'm cringing at myself for not recognizing a fucking French word.
Well, pardon our French.
That's another one for the pun counter.
that's a paddling.
That's a paddling.
I'm getting me mallet.
That's it. I'm getting me mallet.
Give me that. Wow.
All right. Anyway, guys, we did get a chance to introduce ourselves on the stream. I will go ahead and shill for the party member who is not here. Unfortunately, he was not able to join us tonight. One Battery Batty, the player of Johan. You can find him over on twitch.tv/batterybatty, and on Twitter at the same place. He does webtoons. He does a web manga called Fae Anarchy. Y'all should go read it. Like, for real. It's really
It's
good.
real good. He just re-uploaded chapter 1 because he had to redo it for the new art style.
Yep. It
It's on
is.
Webtoon, it's on Tapas.
He
Yep.
also does a bunch of anime-inspired D&D groups with Files Phantasma. Go check that shit out.
Johan is currently sleeping in the corner.
Nobody puts Johan in the corner.
Nobody.
Is
I
Johan
just
baby?
did.
Nobody but me.
Is
Correct.
Johan baby?
I mean, we've determined that he is the mascot of the group. Now I want to see. Now I want to see a. God damn it! Now I want to see a fucking baby Johan. I want to see baby versions of the Dealbreakers.
Okay, baby Johan, but he's wearing like that frilly that frilly like head cap thing. Like,
The bonnets.
the bonnet.
Oh
Yeah, he's
my
got a little
God.
frilly bonnet.
And instead of a rally, he has like an actual bone.
Bonk.
A bonk on the head.
The head. A bunk on the head.
All right. Let's
no.
go. Let's go down the line here. We'll start with Gaia Green. Where can they find you, dude?
On Twitter, it's at GaiaGreen3. On Twitch, it's just twitch.tv/GaiaGreen. Last night, was doing some stuff with the Harbingers with Dead House Sonata, a 6-player action RPG focused on the undead fighting the living. Was playing Deep Rock Galactic with Connor and some of the Dead House Sonata guys. Coming down the pipeline, more Final Fantasy XIV grinding, and still compiling mods for a Skyrim stream, probably?
Okay, so on that note, buddy, 36 mods you cannot live without if you're playing traditional Skyrim, because I will recommend that over Special Edition, because not every mod for that in that list has a port.
I have Special Edition.
Okay, that's fine.
The only ones I have installed right now are Sky UI and Better Maps. So I've got like the 2 big ones.
Yeah.
Like I have fucking roads on the map now, which is a godsend. Holy shit! That should've
Yeah,
been
no,
vanilla.
that's the fact that wasn't a mod before is kind of concerning. Well, actually, it makes sense for the game. The roads aren't necessarily always marked on.
Bethesda games,
Elder
roads
Scrolls.
optional.
Roads are optional. You see that mountain? There's no road to it, but you can go there.
Where we're going, we won't need roads.
All I need is a horse that can walk at a 90-degree angle. But yeah, Final Fantasy XIV. I'll get back to Persona 4 at some point. I feel like I just kind of burnt out on Persona 4. once I finished Kanji's Dungeon, so we'll be picking that back up at some point. But right now, the main things are going to be Final Fantasy, whatever the Dead House guys are doing, and Scrim. Twitch.tv/GuyGreen. Real close to affiliate. And if I make affiliate, then I can start taking subs for the Dead House September and help give out free Founders Packs for the game to get in on the closed betas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Next up will be Cryptic Cyanogen.
You can find me on twitch.tv/cryptic_Cyanogen. I've been playing Luigi's Mansion 3, and I've started playing South Park, the Broken But Whole on off stream, which is really fun if you enjoy South Park.
I remember Taka's playthrough of it. It was funny.
It's a very good RPG. Like, unironically, really good RPG mechanics.
Yeah, it's almost like they
Mhm.
decided that they wanted to actually make a good game, and they did it without any, what's the word I'm looking for? Without disregarding the content.
Mhm.
It's really fun, picking up the junk and seeing all the references to things.
No, please finish. I'm just having flashbacks to the goddamn police station.
Yep.
Shub.
Good old shit.
Yep. Yeah, Shub redacted off.
Yep.
They picked that one on purpose. Holy shit. Like, that is not by accident.
Yeah, no, there's no way that is an accident.
I wasn't sure if that pronunciation was the correct one, but I'm going to go ahead and keep calling him Shub redacted off.
I just call him Shub now.
Whenever it comes to Lovecraftian horror names, the more uncomfortable it is to say, the closer you are to getting it right.
Yeah.
One of the accepted pronunciations of Cthulhu is Kolf.
Good God.
Kolf.
Kolf.
Oh.
Kolf.
Kolf.
I thought it was Tulu.
That.
That is also acceptable. I like Kthul. Like I said, the weirder and more uncomfortable it is to say, the closer you are to actually getting it right.
Yep. And next down the line is going to be... Come on, dumb brain. Let's go with Helix Sucks. Sorry, Milla. Accidentally skipped you.
It's fine. I couldn't hear you when you cut off for a split second, but I was like, okay, it's fine. Fair. It's good.
Helix. Where can they find you, buddy?
Hello. Both Twitter and Twitch at Helix Sucks. It's been a while since I've streamed anything due to just weird work schedule in general, but yeah, if I ever do decide to stream, that's where you can find me.
Yes. And last but certainly not least, our resident book boy, the player of Rugar, the Milla Ninja.
Yes, hello. You can find me on Twitter at MillaNinjaFTW, and you can also find me on twitch.tv/MillaNinja, where I'm trying to get back into a steady stream schedule again. Been starting to play The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, and oh boy, am I having a blast with that game.
Witcher's good. Witcher's real good.
So good, so good. And knowing the experience of Connor when he streamed it, I made sure I threw a sensor screen up in case he had
Yep.
these.
You gotta get that thing on deck. You gotta put that on a fucking hotkey.
Yeah,
I
no, if you
do.
don't,
I have
you're making a mistake.
It's literally just the first scene of Geralt that you have when he's just sitting in the bathtub. It's like, oh, Geralt needs to take a break for the biddies. 1 sec. He's just basking in the hot tub.
Good old Jerry of the River.
Yep.
Aside from that, yeah, and other D&D games picking up, yeah, that's about as busy as I've been as of late. So, yeah.
All right. And last but certainly not least, you can find me here I'm trying to reestablish a weekly schedule after work has been interrupting several things. There was almost not a session tonight because work held me over, and, you know, last minute inspiration fucking struck, and not gonna lie, some of this stuff flew by the seat of my pants.
That's the best shit.
I mean, to be fair, that's kind of what inspired me to spring the cult on you. I had that in my back pocket, and I was like, I don't necessarily want to spring it this early, but here we go.
Who knew this would be a B plot that we could actually work upon?
Yeah. Wasn't initially me. Anywhoozle,
It's a good B plot.
you can also find me over on, not this Wednesday upcoming, but the next, over on twitch.tv/TrashKingArisen, where I play the role of one Jeffrey Blake, hero in training over on the Bearers of the Torch. It's a good time. I love playing it's my two favorite things. It's so you know the meme, you know the old video. You got Reese's and you got your chocolate and my peanut butter. You got my peanut butter, your peanut butter and my chocolate. Me at Sean. You got your D&D and my hero. You got your my hero in my D&D. It's a good time.
Great. Oh.
Yep. It's glorious. Anyway, I believe I'm actually searching for a raid target. We can actually do this where we can send off to the GM of the Bears of the Torch, the Trash King Arisen.
Let's get him.
And we're gonna give it to him. X gonna give it to you. Where X is pizza, because he's being a nerd and streaming a pirate stream.
Let's get him.
Pizza.
He's being a big pirate nerd. Let's slap pizzas in his face so that he can't see.
Pizza,
We're gonna
pizza.
run this man shit.
Yep, gonna run his shit because he can't run it himself apparently. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming tonight, and expect. I know I said that I'd get to editing the VODs, at least the ones that needed it, but I will do it. I promise. I'll get those up on the YouTube, and we'll make sure that things start rolling on that front. But until the next time we break from the Dealbreakers, we wish you a good evening and a good week.
Good evening.
All right. Good night.